What is going on, Don't Unfriend Me Nation? We are officially live. Good to have everybody here. We should be 5x5 across all channels. Facebook announcement is coming through. We got Amy, we got Olivia here tonight. Excited. Stay tuned to the end of the show. We have a new closing, and I was hesitant on doing it because I put people's names, people who've given to the show and helped, but then someone's going to complain. You forgot me. And that, usually what happens is, you forgot me and I'm no longer watching your show ever again. I'm okay, you know what? How about this? How about, hey, Matt, totally forgot about me. You get busy. It's not that big of a deal. But I'd like my name on there. And then I tell you, well, how much is it worth to you? I'm thinking $500 sounds pretty good. If Donald Trump can actually allow citizenship for $5 million with a gold card, well, why can't you pay me $50? Maybe $500, maybe even $5,000 in order to get on the splash page for Don't Unfriend Me. Everything's negotiable. What are we talking about tonight? We're talking about a whole bunch of stuff. My gosh. First of all, Amy, welcome. Olivia, welcome.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody.
A Block, Grifter-In-Chief. If you say things over and over and over and over, it supposedly makes a bigger impact. John Stewart, Coffee Cup, Stunt. It's pretty interesting. Intel, Code of Contact. Going back to my days of Intel, yes, you will see a picture of me with the Secretary of Defense and the Secretary of Navy, where I did a briefing to both of them and talk a little bit about Pete Hegseth. Trump impersonator goes after Alec Baldwin. It's nasty. 4 seconds. Oh, shit. Jake Tapper is full of crapper. And oh, dear. We'll see you in 3 minutes. Debbie, we can't forget you. That might be too rich for your blood. Go ahead and forget me, she says. But like herpes, you are the gift that keeps on giving, and we can't forget you. That was kind of a compliment, but it didn't come out that way. So we're going to go ahead and try to think of something new. Debbie, you're like that last bite of frozen yogurt. After you get your frozen yogurt and you go through all the frozen side and get all the toppings, and then that last bite, which is like half soft, half still like an ice cream texture, and it's just amazing. And I don't know if that was any better. Wow! Debbie, you're kind of like the last lick on an everlasting gobstopper.
Are you tired of being so confused? You feel like you're more fucked up than the lies on the evening news. Well, just step right in. We can talk about it all as friends. And if you want, we can hug and kiss and make up for the party ends. Agree or disagree, stop offering me. 'Cause I'm everything you want. Damn, so what you need. I won't tell no lies. Back up on the facts we true.
Debbie, if you can answer this question, I'll give you a place in the Hall of Fame. How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Tootsie Pop. Amy and Olivia can also answer for Debbie if you would like to know. Olivia,
It's 3.
do you have an answer? It's 1, 2,
Yeah.
3.
Yeah, 3.
Crunch. That's how you get to this. That's correct, Amy. Good job. I don't know why I'm talking about food and candy. I don't like candy, but I would take some frozen yogurt tonight. That was nice. Did you go get frozen yogurt, Liv?
No.
Son of a bitch.
I didn't even have time to get crickets.
Yeah, I don't really care about crickets. I'd sip frozen yogurt instead of much. Honestly, crickets taste like sunflower seeds if you prepare them correctly. Just FYI. One of the things that I hear most often, that I always try to help people connect the dots, is what is past is prologue. And although Shakespeare, not my favorite, it's an interesting thing when you look at 1980 and the crack epidemic and what the United States government was involved in with the Contras.
No kidding.
So I don't understand why people are so shocked and they call Roseanne a conspiracy theorist, because there's evidence in the past of the government getting involved in this, and there's plenty of books on this, and you can read this.
Hey, here's what I think. I love your show, by the way, Matt Spear, and
Thank you,
watched
ma'am.
you. Just discovered you about a week ago.
Ma'am,
And I
ma'am,
went, oh my God, this
you're-
guy's a genius. The facts he can
Oh,
spew.
God, I love you.
You can spew fact, and that's the sign of a genius.
Thank you, ma'am.
So I appreciate you asking me that.
So you just made my
I do
life.
remember back when they were bringing the crack cocaine into the black neighborhoods, and that proved that the CIA was doing it
Yes,
because
ma'am.
they were grooming that population.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
Welcome, everybody, to the Don't Unfriend Me Show. Now that we've got through Tootsie Pops and herpes and yogurt and all that type of stuff, the world is right because my dog is sitting in her spot. She loves to sit right under the table over here. And we are going to be talking about a bunch of different stuff. And usually we go into the show and donations and all that. But we've been doing something kind of new lately, which is to immediately jump into a topic. And I want to show you a person who seems to have been around for a while. November 2022, so about 2 years less than I have been, and I know where this gentleman is. I've been there. I share his pain for the stupidity of the internet. And I remember when I was just a wee lad and I would go through things like this and I would address my trolls. Bye, dog. And I would make this big rigmarole and I would make a 20-minute video talking about them. And I still do it occasionally just for the ratings, to be honest with you. But I felt for this guy because I was watching it. And I will warn you, the language is a little bit eccentric. Nothing you haven't heard on this show before, but I want to get people's opinions because there is a way to do this. He's got 46,000 followers on Twitter, which Twitter is impossible to gain followers anymore. It's like you've got what you've got. And I have been stuck on the same number for 2 years, and it's impossible. I don't know what the algorithm does, and I really don't give a shit because I don't care about Twitter. I care about the people on Twitter, but I really don't care about Twitter. I'm never going to monetize. I'm never going to have 3 million views on a single post. I don't post 27 times a day, and I don't post clickbait, and you're just not. I'm not Benny Johnson, okay? But this video is interesting because Misfit Patriot is rising to the occasion to address a troll. So we're going to do this. Amanda gave us hearts. That's amazing. Amber gave us hearts. Everyone's doing hearts tonight. Let's go ahead and watch this and see what you guys think. This is interesting. Listen, and this isn't how you do things. Seriously. Give it a listen. Whoops. That's good. He started with an F-bomb. All right. Warning, language, if you have small children, have them leave the room now.
Hey, to all these useless fucking anonymous trolls that jump into my comment section, serious fucking question. What the fuck is this? What is this? It's like this, you guys, somebody made a meme. I guess you could call it a meme, right? And people keep on sending me this shit like it's some kind of a fucking weird insult, okay? It's like, is this you? That is me. That is a fundraiser I started for my dying mother. Yes, that's me. You found it on my fucking page. This is not me. I'm fucking Catholic. And by the way, for all the people that are like, you're not Catholic. I was baptized Catholic. According to the Catholic Church, I'm fucking Catholic. I don't care. Call me whatever you want. I'm just gonna keep calling you a cunt. Not me. Not me. That's me. That's a hilarious photo. Fun fact about this too. You want to know the story behind that? Boston Magazine did a story on me, and they asked me for a photo. And as a joke, I sent that in to the editor, thinking they were going to reply to my email like, that's hilarious, now send us the real photo. Fucking nope. They just ran it in the newspaper, which is why you found it on the fucking internet. And I think it is the funniest fucking thing I've ever done. So let's get back to this. Why do you keep sending me this like it's confirmation that I'm Jewish? Let's take a closer look. Okay, built a platform over the years, never asked you to pay for my content, still true. But I'm asking you now to help me help the most important woman in my life, my mom. And the reason I worded it that way is because this wasn't my fucking idea. This is me fulfilling a dying woman's last wish, you fucking cunt. You just say, you want to GoFundMe? Mm-hmm. You want to GoFundMe? So, why'd you even do it? Why didn't you just pay for everything yourself? A dying woman asked me to do something. It just so happens it's my mom. Go fuck yourself. But let's get back to why you think I'm Jewish. Because you highlighted it. Right here. My mother's name is Kathleen, and her mother's name is Evelyn, for anyone of the Jewish faith who wants to say a prayer. I'm telling them that because that's how they fucking pray, you idiot. People are so fucking weird, dude.
I remember those days. I don't envy him. By the way, you're Jewish, bro. I'm Jewish, and I don't practice a lick. I've never lit a candle or played with a dreidel or ate potato pancakes. Not once. But I'm Jewish because that's the qualification. If you have a Jewish mother, you're Jewish. That's just the way it works. So you're a Jew. Cope.
Yeah, it's weird that he was baptized Catholic, but his mom's Jewish. That's odd.
My mom, they baptized me in the river themselves. They were Christians. Now get this shit. They were Christians.
That's the Bible.
Right. I know, but they didn't use the Bible that you're aware of. They
the Satanic Bible?
No, not that bad. But my mom was looking to convert to Judaism at that point, Judaism, and that's my understanding is she used a non-Christian Bible. So talk about like I'm going to hell for sure. But here's what it comes down to: you're Jewish. Who cares? You're not a practicing Jew. You don't practice the religion, but the way that Muslim and Jews are is that their religion is tied into their ethnicity, and that's just the way it works. So pretty much anyone from the Middle East, that's the way this works. But I remember those days, and I remember when I was an up and coming young upstart of the internet quality. And here, I'm going to give you a bit of advice. If you try to own them, they will end up owning you. So let them own themselves, and find that button that makes them feel the exact way they were trying to make you feel. So they have some mommy issues in their own lives, or maybe they've never had a GoFundMe, but whatever it is, the information is on their page. You can find it and do a little research and start pushing some buttons very subtly, and never, ever, no matter what you do, acknowledge their insults. Don't do it. You made a mistake. You got upset about the Jew thing. You got upset about the GoFundMe thing. Don't let them have ammunition. It's easier to just do the exact same thing they do to you, and it drives them absolutely crazy when you don't acknowledge their own or their sick burn. Olivia, do you remember these days?
I do. I also remember when you would stay up all night because one comment would just drive you so insane that you couldn't stop thinking about it. And I remember those days, and that was like in the first year. And in the second year, you got a little better. And third year, you started just kind of like, okay. And then the past year, the fourth year, you were like, whatever. And you don't care anymore. And you are not letting it rule your life and ruin your day. And if somebody says something negative towards you or calls you a name, you're just like, okay, whatever. And you have to have thick skin in this game.
Oh, yeah.
Because no matter what, there are going to be haters just to hate. And that's what they do. No matter what, they are going to hate you.
Yep.
So if you can't form thick skin and learn, you'll never make it, because it's going to just consume you if you don't.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is that what are you doing?
Where is she?
What are you doing? You're not supposed to be here. This isn't your space. Go over there. Yenny. Haters don't hate you. Haters love you. They just don't know how to tell you. They don't know how to articulate it. But my haters watch me more than the people who love the show. They can't stand success. They hate it. And I remember the days when it was like, you have 100 people following, you're a loser. You have 1,000 people following, you're a loser. You have 5,000. I had more people in my high school. You're a fucking loser. You have 50,000. You're a loser. Oh, well, you're at 100,000. You're still a loser. It doesn't matter how many followers. I could have 20 million followers, and people are like, you're still a loser. They'll find something else. So the question is, do you feel comfortable with who you are, where what they say just doesn't bother you? And can you break up their argument and make it what it's really about, which is about them seeking attention? And if you give it to them, they're just going to come back for more. So my goal is like when a troll comes, I love my goal, 25 posts. If I get them to post at least 25 times, I win. Because then I get their friends list and I get to market and advertise to their friend list, and then they become a top fan. So I can go, dude, you're now a top fan. That's how much you've posted. Now I'm going to take it away from you because you're a loser. And my goal is for them
Don't give me my crown, you loser.
Right. My goal is for them never to come back. Amy, you remember these days. You've been upset, I think, twice in 4 years. Tell us about your experience. Yeah, you don't get upset very often. I think there was one person that made a comment about, I don't know what it was. It was something stupid. Thank you, Bobby Richardson. It was something dumb. It was a physical thing, and they made some stupid comment. Oh, someone called you dumb.
Well, clearly.
No, it's not what it's. But you. I think you came at him, and I was just like, I think everybody was like, "You're."
Was it like an old lady? And I felt bad for getting mad at her, but I was like, yeah, I was mad at her. She was,
and her name was like Thelma or Bertha or something. I mean, it was like she had an old woman name too, so it was like Henrietta or something. Yeah, I remember. So
Yeah.
how do you deal with the trolls when they occasionally come in?
I think everybody pretty much loves me, so I don't have to deal with them as much as you do. But
I was just gonna I was just gonna
Totally
say that.
kidding. Totally
Just
kidding.
gonna-
Totally
just
kidding.
gonna-
Psycho check,
Yeah.
psychos.
Sorry. Honestly, I don't read most of the comments. Otherwise, I probably would get upset, especially depending on the time of the month that I'm in and what
Oh.
my preteen child has said to me that day. So there's a lot of factors going into my emotions.
So basically, like, anyone that's married understands exactly what your triggers are. I get it. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't this poor guy. I thought like this was funny to watch, but if I had seen this on like social media, I would have immediately scrolled because I don't listen to like anyone ranting about anything. But I thought he was funny and I could see why he has probably a good following, I'm assuming. I don't know, but he seems like a fun person. But I would not have listened to this if we were not watching it on the show. Just
Well, and that's why I've tried to, curb my colorful metaphors and try to be a little bit more. I was watching Benny today, and I'm confused. I don't understand why people watch Benny. Like, I was watching, I'm like, lie.
That's why. Because people don't want to hear the truth. They want to hear lies. They want to stay in their own little bubble of what they think is real and what their reality is. Not what the reality is, but what their reality is. And anything that is said to the contrary, they don't want to hear it. People don't want to hear the truth.
Well, some people do, because that's why we have a following that's the size that we have. Is because there's times I'm just like, dude, if it ever got really bad where the site was going to shut down, I would just move into lying and clickbait. And I know we would go global overnight because I just watched this. And when I was watching Benny, and listen, Benny's got an audience. I'm not trying to rip on conservatives, but I'm going to be honest. He was doing an interview of General Flynn. I might have enough time to play it. And it was just like, dude, General Flynn's like, Jim Comey, you should have killed me. You should have tried to kill me. And then Benny's like, so you just said that Jim Comey should kill you. Why? And I'm like, that's not the question. That's not the question at all. All you're doing is just he engagement farms. So and everyone who knows, if you've ever interviewed General Kelly or General Flynn, is that I said Kelly a second ago. I'm sorry, it was General Flynn. You could just be like, "Hi, this is Don't Unfriend Me Show," and we've got General Flynn, and 2 hours later, he will still be talking. General Flynn will dominate your show. So the correct question is, hey, what's your proof? How do you know they tried to assassinate you? And then his comment was, well, they tried to assassinate Donald Trump. Where are you getting that? What evidence do you have that the U.S. government tried to assassinate Donald Trump? But the thing is General Flynn won't come on the show then. But in my eyes, and maybe we'll never book somebody like that, is you have a responsibility to ask questions. Otherwise you're just propaganda. And this is what Benny does. Watch it. It's gonna be really simple. Amy comes on. Amy, say the moon is made of cheese, would you, please?
Yeah, the moon is made of cheese, obviously.
Cheese, you say? Really?
Yes.
Why do you think the moon's made of cheese?
Oh, I don't think this. I know the moon is made of cheese.
Go on.
So the moon is made of cheese. Cream cheese, to be exact.
Really?
And
what type of cream is it?
Goat's cream, obviously. And
Goat's
then the
cream.
craters are made out of jalapenos. So
Jalapenos! Woo!
Yeah.
Like, literally, it's like...
And there's a literal man on the moon, right?
Yes.
What if the moon was made of cheese?
Moon made cheese. Hi. Harry Carey. Listen. I said I wasn't going to make fun of Benny. But, I mean, it's not my kind of thing. And I believe that you have a responsibility that your show, if it's supposed to be full of integrity, is to challenge and question. So what I'll say to Patriot Guy, and I don't remember his first name. By the way, I'll give you his go see him. Misfit Patriot _ Misfit Patriot _ go follow him on Twitter and follow me for God's sakes, because I can't grow followers. Is you have too much to do. A hell of a lot more important than spending time with trolls. So don't let them get to you. You did a great thing for your mom. You raised like $38,000. That's a wonderful thing. Good for you. Don't apologize for it. And don't let them know they're bothering you. That's it. And you have a responsibility. Once you become a personality or whatever, I don't care if you have one follower or if you have 1 million, you should espouse the truth, because too many people lie. Too many people just use this thing that we have to make money, and that's all they do. That's it. That's my advice to him. Folks, we're going in the A block, but first, we've got the Constitution of the United States, 144 of these. I just got the shipment confirmation. We are getting 25 of these sent to us by Arcadia. They are 9x6 full leather, gold inlay. Beautiful inner sleeve, color, presidential seal, 144 pages, Constitution. It's got the amendments. It's got the articles. It also has a biography of all of the framers and the signers. And it also has a full picture of the Constitution. It will fit in your library. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous book. Please go pick it up. Also, we have some amazing coffee over there. We've sold a ton of coffee. It's fresh military, owned in Wisconsin. Guy goes around to Sumatra. He goes to Colombia. He goes to Hawaii, gets all of his beans. Kenya, buys them all in bulk, and your coffee will be roasted 3 days before you get it. It is guaranteed fresh. It's not like Black Rifle where they go ahead and do truckloads of roasting. That's not the way this works. He takes patience. You're not going to get any burnt beans. The consistency is amazing. The strength of the coffee, the oils are ridiculously good. And we're not raising our prices at all. They've been the same price for 4 years, and they will stay the same. Last but not least, thedumbshow.com. You may have seen that Bobby donated. We have a goal of $300 tonight because you folks pay for our show. We would appreciate it if you would continue to help us, and we thank you so much. At the end of the show, we have a closing little segment that's new. Make sure to watch it because there's a bunch of names of people who have helped out the show. I'm sure we're going to offend somebody and we've forgotten somebody. Please let me know in your usual manner of threatening to quit and never coming back to watch me because I'm an insensitive dick. I always love that and makes me feel so special. A block tonight. I think we're going to have some good conversations. Grifter-In-Chief. Have you guys noticed that every time liberals find a word that they abuse it to the point of, like, I want to call CPS?
Like it's a bloodbath.
Yeah.
Oh, so holy shit, Liv. That was fucking excellent. No, like that was
quick.
That was so I got to find something good for you. I just, there it is. Don't we have a miscongeniality where she does that?
We do.
Where
look, I only had a brain. She's going to cry again.
What's it?
It's going to be under miscongeniality. Single movies, I think, is what I put it under.
It's single movies. What the shit?
No, movie singles, like where it's just one.
Look, she's going to cry again. Oh, if I only had a brain.
Very proud of you. That was wonderful. So it's perfect. Yeah, like Bloodbath. Or what else? Can we think of another one? Give me another one, Amy. Another word that the Democrats use they abuse it to death.
A million, but I can't think of one now. I mean, but Nazis. I mean, Nazis.
Nazis, racists, deplorables.
Oh, yeah.
Democracy.
Fascists.
They use the whole, we're losing our democracy.
Right, losing our democracy. Russia. How about this one? Grifter. I always love that. And then I always love how, and then maggot is another one. They call us maggots, which is really Third Reichy. But felon, right. So it's interesting.
The MAGA extremists. Too.
Yes, right. And insurrectionists and J6ers, you get just their usual orange guy, right? We know Trump tard, all this shit. But it's interesting because grifter is the one that throws me. Do you guys know the definition of grifter? Do you know what it means?
I can't give you the literal definition, but isn't it somebody who kind of like gypsy, doesn't have a home, just kind of goes places?
That's a vagabond.
Oh, okay.
That's
or a drifter. But grifter, isn't that someone who takes money from people?
That's right. Or a drifter, right? To be simple, I had to go to the thesaurus and see, this is just, we just showed all of our personalities in one shot. Olivia nails bloodbath. Amy goes, that's drifter, dumbass. And I'm like, vagabond. So we just literally showed our personalities and what we're like, which is great. It's going to be so fun when we're all together. So when we say grifter, essentially it's like a con man. It's running a grift is what it is. So essentially it's a confidence game, and it's you can gaslight, you snake oil salesman, that type of thing, where you will run a scheme or a scam in an effort to make money. Now, that's great and all. And honestly, grifter sounds, I guess you could call me a grifter, but holy fuck, are we going viral? This thing's been going off nonstop.
Wow,
I guess we got
200 since I came home.
Yeah, we got a viral thing going on. Okay, so I got more money. So here's the deal. It's been going off nonstop. This is good. This is, we've already went viral 4 times this month. We do it again. We're already at 25 million interactions. That's unbelievable. Yay. So anyway, a grift is usually associated with something illegal. So when they call Donald Trump a grifter, they want to go down to Trump University, or they want to go to the Bitcoin scams and all this other stuff. First of all, what I always tend to do is when people say, hey, you're a grifter, and I hear it a lot, is I ask the question, well, what have I done that's illegal? What have I done that's unethical? Or what have I done that is not true? And of course, they can never answer this question. Today, in the House Oversight Committee, this is the House Oversight Committee. These are the people who oversee rules and regulations. They oversee confidential information. They have closed-door hearings, and they are responsible with a very small group of about 14 people who oversee the everyday working of the government. And you'll usually find that these 14 will be split amongst the party. There'll be 12 for one side, 14 for the other, or it'll be a 15-15 split or whatever. But the point is, the Senate Oversight Committee is supposed to be the creme de la creme. These are the people who are the up-and-comers in the party. And this is the video of
so sad.
Whoa, holy shit.
Whoa.
Of a gentleman named Maxwell Frost. I can't make it up. Agent 99, Maxwell Smart, but Maxwell Frost. It literally sounds like a porn where it's just guy walks in. Hey, honey. Oh, my God. Maxwell Frost. You're so chill.
Oh my goodness.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
This is what we're about to hear. It's not as good as that, but it is cringeworthy. Listen in.
But we're so sad.
No.
Yes or no. Order. That our order.
Yes or no.
Order.
Skip.
For bringing
the gentleman's
up,
words have been taken down. He is not permitted to speak for the rest of the hearing.
making millions of dollars.
Mr. Ranking Member, I'm going to have the Sergeant at Arms remove him if he doesn't refrain.
People like the Grifter-In-Chief Trump and President Musk are openly using their public offices to enrich themselves to the tune of billions of dollars. So if we want to look at waste, fraud, and abuse, which I'm down to do, why is there complete silence on the other side of the aisle about looking at the complete grifter that is the President of the United States and the richest man on the earth, which is looking into things like Social Security and different things like that? Why don't we investigate the real corruption?
Hold off. Point of order.
I reclaim my time.
Point of order.
Mr.
Chairman, point of order. Hold off. There was a point of order when you said something. Who asked for it? Mr. Higgins.
What a shit show. I mean, seriously.
I can refer to Elon Musk as the president.
I don't believe the First Amendment has been suspended in this committee yet.
Yeah, y'all were fine with one of your other members
Suspend
talking
for a
about fighting
second.
someone just a few weeks ago.
Parliamentary. On all of this,
Mr. Chairman.
would you like to hold on? I'm the chairman. I'm recognize Ms. Frost, and we'll recognize you. Would you like to revise your remark with respect to improperly identifying the President of the United States?
I'll say President Musk and Grifter-In-Chief Trump.
All right.
Grifter-In-Chief.
Hey, Mr. Chairman, point of order.
Wait a second.
If I wanted to challenge someone to a fight, they would know it. Thank you.
There's an extra fundraising video for her.
Mr. Chairman, I don't believe that Mr. Musk is protected by the rules of the House or the committee. No.
We're looking at the disparaging the president now.
But I don't believe Mr. Frost.
Why are we picking on listeners in chat?
Where?
Can we please stop? What did Mallory do? Mallory didn't do anything. Why are we going after Mallory? I thought we were going to stop doing this. I feel like I'm on the fucking oversight committee right now. Are you kidding me?
Let me look at the thread. There's laughy, smiley things in there. So it's a whole big thread. Hang on.
Okay. Can we stop? I just, enough. Let's pay attention to the show. Okay.
They're not picking on.
Let's hope.
I'm reading it. It's fine.
Okay.
There's no picking
president,
on.
I believe.
All right, let's just stop.
Disparage.
Nobody talk to any. Okay.
They're talking about.
Nobody talk to anyone else ever again for as long as you live.
They're talking.
Don't
about,
ever speak to anyone else in chat as long as you live. We're gonna Bill Cosby this mother humper. And all of a sudden, my wife says something. I want nobody ever to touch another living human being ever again. All right,
Mr. Musk.
Well, he did disparage.
Okay, it doesn't sound like a conversation, Amy. It's not like the first fucking time. All right, so
no, it's because you can't see you can't see that it's a whole conversation between, and they're all reminiscing about what we've been called by the left. So it's a big conversation. It's funny.
It's not funny. I'm not laughing.
Well, if you could read the context, it was funny.
Okay.
You just got to look into it.
Listen, we haven't lost the freedom of speech as far as I'm concerned yet. Okay.
Chairman, if Mr. Musk actually came here,
Listen, stop being bitches in chief, okay, folks?
then maybe the rule
All right.
committee
I heard
would
no
apply to
disparagement
him.
of the-
But
I'll say something else.
We'll save a lot of time.
I'll say something else.
Okay, all right. We're going to let Chair recognize Mr. Frost. You still have 349. You're going to
I had a comment, but it's so racist, so I'm just going to leave it alone until we get done with this.
maybe revise the disparaging comment about the president because that's supposed to be our decorum here. And
It is supposed to be. President Musk and the President of the United States, Donald Trump, who is engaged in grifting of the American people, often use their public offices to enrich themselves. Someone on the other side was just asking, how would you
Point of
feel
order,
if you
Mr.
called
Chairman.
someone else from the
hold
other?
off, Mr. Frost. Hold off. There's a pending motion for disparaging the president. So the
This is
motion
painful.
was
just wait.
words taken down about disparaging the president. And the chair finds the words for the gentleman from Florida are not parliamentary because they constitute personalities toward the president, which if you sit in the House floor, that's always uttered by the presiding officer on the House floor. You cannot disparage the President of the United States. So,
Mr. Chairman, would you please read back to us the words that were disparaging? Because I didn't hear them.
if you're willing to request unanimous consent to withdraw the disparaging the comments about President Trump, I guess you can disparage Elon Musk if you want.
I will withdraw
cannot-
Grifter-In-Chief, and I will.
I make fun of British Parliament often, and Parliament in Canada. What in the hell is wrong with these people?
How do they get anything done? They're not even looking at each other. How are you supposed to get stuff done if you're seriously? It's like a bunch of teenage girls in that room.
It's everybody's on their period.
Seriously.
I just want to, this reminds me, my son just went through this. Today was the last day they were like in jail, so to speak, at school. There was somebody who threw an eraser a week ago in their class and no one saw it and like no one would cop to it. So they lost recess privileges for the past week. It's been like emails sent out by the teacher. It's been hilarious. And like they're pinning each other. It's like, it's been the best for the parents because we're like, his kid did this. It's hilarious. This reminds me of what's going on in the 5th grade class at my son's school right now. Like, we can't use these words. We have to cop to it. We have to be honest. You need to go to confession. Like, this is like, just have respect for the office. If you don't respect the person, that is okay, but you still have to respect the office and you're in the government. So please have a little bit of pride in yourself and how you're handling yourself publicly. This is all televised. It's all public information. You look like an idiot.
It's just, listen, and this guy's like, well, people in this business enrich themselves. We'll see you in 3 years if you actually get reelected. Somebody just said he's the lead singer for Sexual Chocolate. No. That guy's coming up in just a second.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I've got Soul Glow.
Oh, nice.
He's coming. And he'll be, Soul Glow, let it shine through. He's coming up.
Now, Mr. Jack Frost does understand that Donald Trump isn't taking a salary as the president, and Elon Musk is not taking any money.
Lost
no
billions
salary.
with a B.
So he didn't need this. He didn't need this. He's doing it to enrich himself. He was already a billionaire before he became president. He doesn't need your fucking money.
He's going to be a bajillionaire. I just, it's like this, can we just get somebody with balls? Can we elect somebody who can run one of these committee hearings and say, your time has expired. If you say another word, you're being removed. I don't care which side you're on. Republican
Eli in there or something.
No, Republican or Democrat. If anyone else says another fucking word, you're barred from the meeting. We are moving forward. We're wasting our time, and we now owe the taxpayers. And surprisingly, this is the truth. We owe the taxpayers $4,700 for what we just did. That 15 minutes cost $5,000 in payroll for us to get nothing accomplished because people's feelings are hurt. Just move on. Grifter-In-Chief. Okay, fine. Fuck it. You know what? Mental note taken. Mental note taken. When someone calls you Maxwell Charcoal, it's freedom of speech, motherfucker. Mental note taken. If you get to do that, people get to... We're going to bring Marjorie Taylor Greene in here. She's a racist. She'll fucking say something racist to you. So, cool. And you don't get a parliamentary inquiry. How about that? No, you don't get that, do you? Because you wanted to say Grifter-In-Chief. Here's your fucking binky. Shut up. I'm sick of these people. I'm sick of these politicians. They are the most worthless human beings. All of them. Every one of them. Even the Republicans. What a grab ass. Kevster donated tennis elbow brace. Do I wear it only when lifting? Okay. This is a good segment. I'm going to let Olivia and Amy finish their thoughts on this wonderful guy. After we watch Soul Glow, then we'll talk about your brace because this is about working out. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the new host of MSNBC, and essentially, I'm confused because I didn't think it was possible to downgrade Joy Reid. But we have...
Did they fill her spot already?
Oh, certainly they filled her spot and more. This guy takes up a lot more space. But the diamond brooch is a little much. And the Jerry curl is even... Well, here's Dolomite. Just let's go ahead and watch this.
He has a hard time running against Vice President Harris because she's a black woman. You remember, Ashley, when he would tussle with the women that would ask him questions, our colleagues on the White House beat. Reporters. You know, he held his kind of most angry self for black women, right? If they asked him a question, he would have the worst things to say about them. And so you're seeing that, right?
I can think of three off the top of my head.
At the top of our head. And when he talked about Joe Biden got worse.
Wait a second. What the fuck is that? Is that Martin Short with a mask on? And who's on the right?
I'm just looking at wardrobe ideas for our photo shoot. Like I think I've got it nailed down now.
To me, it's basically, does this guy got a fucking like a callback to do Miami Vice 2.0 or something? What is going on here? Hold on.
About Joe Biden got worse. Harris was born like that, right? That's different. That's a dog whistle to folks to say, you know, the white guy just got older and it got worse, but the black lady was born dumb. That is the kind of thing that Donald Trump is saying and selling to folks.
Yeah.
He has a hard...
What in the shit is going on over at MSNBC? It is a clown show.
You done fucked up, Aaron.
They are.
That's what it reminds me of. It looks like the dude from Key and Peele.
Shaq Hennessy.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Exactly what I was going to say. I was like, "That's Key and Peele. This is a skit. It's not real." Like that's 100% what I was going to say.
Totally. If it didn't have MSNBC, I was waiting for freaking the other dude to pop. I don't know which one's which, but I was waiting for the other dude to pop out. And like they start doing a skit, and I was like, that's why I was laughing the whole time because that's all I can think about is Key and Peele. I'm watching it.
It's depressing. Like what the shit is going on? Like,
my goodness.
Who relates to these people? The guy's wearing shoulder pads with a brooch and a mock turtleneck and Soul Glow. Now, listen, be black. Go right ahead. You have my permission. But try not to be a moron, right? Try not. Now, you may not like well, this guy's wearing a polo with tattoos and a baseball cap indoors. Oh, okay, fine. You know what? I get it. But this was never in style. Even when it was in style, people made fun of it. I mean, you look like a 1970s porn star's dick fro. I mean, that's what you... It's pretty bad. At some point, can we ask is this on purpose? I mean, seriously, are they just fucking with us? Are Democrats really, truly just going, okay, hold on, man. We're going to give him a brooch. We're going to give him Jerry curl and a fucking goatee. Oh, I know. We'll give him Rachel Maddow's jacket with shoulder pads. Yeah, that's fucking good. Let's do it. Let's put him out there. Let's see what happens. Is that what's happening? I mean, because honestly, I feel trolled. Like, how could anyone do a curtain casting call and go, this is the next face of our network, and this will be better than Joy Reid?
At least he's got hair.
Yes. And he's not culturally appropriating white people.
He's culturally appropriating Jen Psaki. I mean, that's what Jen Psaki wore to the lectern. I mean, that's what he looks like. Seriously, the silver brooch and the gold chain down the middle. I mean, it's all so pimp daddy. Does he have goldfish in his boots too?
It's like either you're an 85-year-old white woman or you're a pimp. Yeah, there's like no in between. And I couldn't even pay attention to what they were talking about because of everyone's outfits and their hair. I mean, everybody, maybe they are trolling us. I had no idea what happened or what they were saying.
That it looks like what band did to us, you know when band would come out and they were and they had their glasses and their tubas and their saxophones, but then they would start like all of a sudden, they start playing and you're listening, you're like, you fucking band geeks, you suck, you virgins, and you're throwing shit at them, and then all of a sudden they start doing Down with the Sickness and they're fucking dancing and they're doing these and you're like, this is fucking hard. But they're band geeks.
That's one time at band camp,
right? And flute and but that's a good thing. And we were like, you know what? That was rock star. These guys have everything before they played Down with the Sickness, and they still suck. They don't do anything cool. These are the people that people used to beat the shit out of in high school, and they have a platform. And I hate to say it, but that lady, if you remember a year ago, who did the normies conversation, where she's like, all you freaking nerds and LGBTQ and you geeks, he's like, the jocks are taken back over, the good-looking people are taken back over, and we're putting you geeks back in your place. And everyone's like, oh, that's kind of harsh. You know what? I think we need to start beating people up. I think we need to send the Fox News crew over to CNN and MSNBC and start doing some Jets and some shark shit and having some knife fights, and let's start beating the shit out of rival stations, because this is, who relates to these people? Is there a neighbor that you go, who looks at the guy and goes, fucking, he's got it banging on. Look at that Jerry curl. Fuck me. That guy's got it banging. Can you name one of your neighbors that would even remotely say that?
No.
He's Sigma.
Oh, he is Sigma. Amy, you have a black friend. Would your black friend say that was cool? No.
He might.
Oh, that's a transgender. That's I don't have any black friends, so I don't know. I'm kidding. That's not true. But I have plenty of black friends, and every one of them would say shit 100 times worse. They'd say, man, what the fuck are you doing?
Yes.
What the fuck are you? You're a clown. You're making people look bad. So I don't know what MSNBC. I think honestly, CNN and MSNBC is at a race to sell, and they're just trying to fuck. Now they're just like trying to outdo each other to who can sell to Donald Trump first. Drive the stock down as low as it can go, and sell that station off to the lowest bidder. I think that's what's happening. All right, moving on. We're out of A block. We'll be right back. Here is the which somebody said last night, and I think it was Melanie, said that this sounds like a Applebee's training video. Fucking.
Big tech didn't like that. Facebook pulled our funding, tried to shut us down. But for over a year, you, our incredible viewers, have kept us going. Your support, your donations, your time, it all matters. Most of you spend 10 plus hours a week with us. Compare that to Netflix, maybe 5 hours a month. We believe we're worth that time, and we hope you do too. But listen, we don't want giving to feel like a burden. We want it to feel good. So take a second to ensure you're in a good spot. If you're in a place to give, amazing. If not, just liking and sharing helps us more than you know. Visit thedumbshow.com/donate. Whether it's PayPal, Venmo, or mail, every bit helps keep us going. Dumb Nation, we appreciate you more than words can say.
I wanted to, at the end of this, I was going to put it tonight. I was going to put it up against death metal. Like all of a sudden, right when it goes, be like, and then she would start talking, and I'm like, what do you want from me? Like, what, Liv?
Just that little bit extra.
It's that little bit extra and extraordinary. Carpe D's nuts. Man, I can't wait to fucking quit this job. Name the movie. All right.
Can you name the movie, Amy?
No. Not a clue.
She can't. A quick little overtime hit. Folks, okay. If he has more followers than I do, it'll be the time for me to essentially hold my breath for 15 minutes. Okay? I'm not kidding. If Gavin Newsom somehow surpasses me, I'm jumping off of a cliff. I'm done. This is the most cringeworthy shit I've ever seen. Oh, God.
To change the conversation. And that's why I'm launching a new podcast. And this is going to be anything but the ordinary politician podcast. I'm going to be talking to people directly that I disagree with, as well as people I look up to. But more important than anything else, I'll be talking directly with you, the listener. Real conversations. What's going on with the cost of eggs? What are the impacts, real impacts to you around tariffs? What power does an executive order really have? And what's really going on inside of Doge? Look, there's an onslaught of information that we take in. So let's take it to the sources without the typical political mumbo jumbo. In the first few weeks, we're going to be sitting down with some of the biggest leaders and architects in the MAGA movement. This is Gavin Newsom.
Dude, you should totally go on a show.
It smells like Drakkar Noir.
Totally. he already knows he's out, so he's trying to do is
no. This is
what's after the governorship.
This is for the presidential race. What he's trying to do is to create a show that gains a shit ton of notoriety with the younger generation, so he can run on this with the election. This is all this is. Yeah. This would be like Joe Rogan announcing the presidency, right?
Yes.
This is all this is. He's trying to be Joe Rogan, and honestly, it
but he's not cool. He's
Gavin, listen to me, Gavin, I'm going to be completely honest. Your demographic is the 35 to 50-year-old soccer mom who doesn't quite want to commit to being a lesbian, who still finds you attractive.
The raspy voice isn't sexy at all.
It
sounds forced because I've heard him talk before, and he's never had that raspy voice.
Right. He's rocking the same mic that we're rocking. His audio guy sucks because it's cracking and hissing and popping, which means you're clipping out. Just take a minute. Dude, this isn't for everybody, okay? This podcasting isn't for everybody. It takes a lot of time and a lot of practice, and I'm still not perfect at it, and I've got a long way to go. But, bro, you are not going to be good at this.
Dude, your state sucks. Maybe you should take that extra time you have and actually focus it on your state so it doesn't go up in flames next year and then cover half the people in a mudslide after that. Maybe focus on that and do your job.
I can't wait till his podcast gets shut off because of brownouts, rolling brownouts in the summer. Welcome to California.
No.
Well, and who's funding this podcast? Because he's going to be renting a studio or purchasing one. He's going to have some editor. Like he's not going to have, he's not doing the work himself. I want to see who's writing his scripts. Like I hope there's credits given. This is not a real podcast. This is going to be a completely staged show, if you want to call it that. I want to see all the receipts. I want to see where the money is coming from because it's coming from the taxpayers.
Yeah, taxes just went up in California.
First, the graphic design. Whoever cut your video sucks, dude. It looks like you got some Fing Fang Fong from TikTok in Vietnam to do this on Fiverr for $12.99. If you need help, dude, I can take care. Look at my show. But there's this wonderful segment I just did. You may have heard of it. It was actually done for the Mervin's training video.
The Dumb Show was built on real
This type of quality you can get from me. Listen, if I would have done a sexy woman asking you for donations, it's kind of inappropriate, right? And if I would have done some guides like...
I could have done the sexy voice.
Hey, anyway, moving on. Hey, baby, I was wondering if you can go ahead and sign my Colt 45, my Piston, and my Cobra. Come on. And if I would have done a hard rock one, it would have been out of so I said I want a woman who sounds normal. My demographic is women between the ages of 35 and 65. We have a 65-45 split on women to men on this show. It's because we have women hosts, and most people are sexist. And me, I've always wanted to be between two women. So
Leroy's so good looking, and women are attracted to him.
Yeah, that's. I was just gonna say that. So no, seriously. But my point is Gavin. I'm gonna call in. Like I'll be on the show. I will absolutely debate Gavin Newsom on anything in California that he wants to because I grew up there and I know California and I know its politics. It's where I learned politics, and I am completely open to having a conversation. But the thing about Gavin Newsom is that the only thing he did against DeSantis mopped the floor with him in that debate, is he just took Donald Trump's talking points and just threw him. He wasn't, don't you remember this guy wanted to propose a 28th Amendment to ban guns?
Yes.
Where did that go? Now he's going to do a podcast. Next, it's going to be a fucking, a chia pet revival with rainbow colored chia pets he's going to sell for $19.99. I want to talk about a grifter. This fucking guy's a grifter. He's got a new idea and he just abandons it when it doesn't work. Will he be successful, Amy? Yes or no?
No, I think he will have some success because he has like a cult following. Like he has people who are so loyal to him, especially like the women. Yeah, I think they are so in love with him. I mean, remember the fires when he had like green screens behind him instead of just being actually present? Like he's so phony. He's so fake. So he's going to try his best to use this podcast to cover those aspects. I mean, There is editing that goes into most podcasts. We're live on this show, so we don't edit out things, but he will be editing things. It'll be like the Kamala interview, I think, and with more green screens. And yeah, I think it'll be a lot of editing.
Yeah, unlike some podcasts, we don't edit, and we don't run away from what we say, and only segment our clips to make ourselves look good. In fact, I'm still waiting for that person to come on and spank me in a debate. So anytime we want to make that happen would be nice. 804-212-2208. Liv, is he going to be successful?
I think to get it off the ground, he's going to focus solely on that, and he's going to run it like he ran his when he got elected governor the first time. And it's going to get hard, and then he's just going to let it fail.
See, that's what I was thinking. Is like this guy uses it until 2026, and then he's going to hit because what do the Democrats have? Who's going to run? Kamala? 67% of Democrats want Kamala to run again, and the Republicans are like, oh, please, I want to be unburdened by what has been.
I think that he's trying to use it to get the bad image of him with the fires away. He's trying to reshape his image right now and to redo it because he knows he fucked up with the fires, and he knows that California hates him right now. And if his own
in California,
if his own state doesn't like him, there's no way he's going to make it as president. So he's
love Venn
trying
diagrams.
To fix it.
I really do. I love Venn diagrams. It's just something about those three circles and the analysis about where there is the intersection, right? Yeah, I see people. You agree with me, right?
Please give her back. I need Kamala in my life. My knees are aching for her. I need Kamala back. I because Amy getting drunk and doing her Kamala was the greatest thing. Holy shit, I looked over at you and you were totally Nipponese.
Oh, God. I got to go take my contacts.
I looked over and Olivia's like this. She's like,
okay, I'll be right back. I can't see.
Oh, God, you want sushi? You got sushi. Oh, Japanese, Chinese. How do you do it? Japanese, Chinese, Korean.
I don't know. I'm not that racist.
It's not racist.
I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. I'm kidding.
God. It's a little, it's a little racist. I'm not going to lie. We'll be right back.
Join wimkin.com, the social media platform built for free speech and true connection. No censorship, no algorithms controlling your feed, just genuine conversations and a commitment to protecting your rights. Sign up today at wimkin.com and take back your voice. Tell them Matt and the Dumb Show sent you.
Clips shouldn't be that much louder than our voices. Amy, give me a sound check.
Testing.
Amy's coming in a little low. Do it again.
Sorry. Did you hear my snivels? Testing.
I got you. Test 1, 2. Okay. And then
join wimkin.com.
That's coming in.
The dumb
conversations. Raw.
That's all coming in good. If the clips are loud, I can't normalize clips. I can check the readout, but I won't know for a few seconds because Twitter doesn't do that. So if you got some guy who's like doing an iPhone recording, another guy who's pumping it through a mic, it's going to have different levels. So I'll try to watch it, but that's the problem with the live show is we're usually pretty good on the sound, but I really can't control if Newscoms. And that's another example. Newscoms was screaming because I told you he was clipping out on his mic. So whoever his sound person was horrible. Waiting on Olivia. Amy, tell people about donations and why $62.79 at this late in the game at the end of the month is very terrifying at 8:08 at night.
Matt's children do not eat tonight.
Jeez Louise.
I'm just kidding.
No, it's not. It's a fact.
Kids gonna starve. Mama and daddy are getting steak. Kids are getting noodles.
Nothing. Sides are for you guys. Yeah, guys, we are here for you live, unedited, and mostly unfiltered, depending on if we've been drinking, which I think none of us drink anymore, right? Is Leroy still drinking? I don't know.
Leroy's always going to be an alcoholic.
Okay.
And I drink occasionally. but certainly not to excess.
I'm drinking when he comes into town. But anyways, yeah, we need $300 tonight, y'all. And we have not missed a night at all, right? Ever.
No, it's ever. Like we're coming up on a year of taking donations. So I'm not worried. I just figured you'd mention it to kill time because Olivia she just does this randomly, just goes poof, gone. And it's like, hello? If this was Gavin Newsom's show, we would cut it out, but she's not here yet. Liv!
Help her get eye surgery and donate to the show.
I was thinking of that. You know, if we had some more donations, I might be able to get her LASIK. But since
Don't do LASIK.
I mean, 62, they're not helping me. You're not helping me raise it.
We can get her some other surgery.
Get her what?
Some other surgery, just a different surgery.
Boob job, boob job, boob job. Perfect. Yes, help Olivia get her boobies. $62.79 won't even buy a decent bra at Victoria's Secret. So we need some. We need some boobies. All right, I'll show this picture because Olivia's seen it. Pete Hegseth, Secretary of Defense. We are now officially into C Block. There you are. Thank God. Took you long enough. What? Oh my God. I'm going to pay tonight. What did I do?
Nothing. No, it's not you.
She walks by. I hate being a woman. And I'm like, oh, fuck.
He knows what I'm talking about.
I'm gonna pay tonight.
No, you're not. It has nothing to do with you.
What did I do wrong?
Nothing. You didn't do anything wrong.
What did I do as a man?
You didn't
What
do
did my
anything
what did
wrong.
my cock oppression do to you now? All right. So this is a photograph.
I'm gonna blame Eve for this one, not you.
Okay. So this is a photograph. If you look back here, there is a particular tall guy.
I recognize that dude.
There is IS-3 Spear, I believe. Yes, that was IS-3. So an intelligence specialist, third class. This is actually in the JIC, in the skiff. And that's a no-no. You don't take photos in the skiff, but that's okay.
How in the world did you get it?
Skill set. This guy right here is actually a Kennedy.
Ooh.
He's actually related to the Kennedys, and he was working in Intel. This is our intelligence team. This is Snyder, one of the most worthless intel guys in the world. IS-1 who thought that he was a Yakuza, just a fucking douchebag. But there were some really good people in here, too. IS-1 Cockler and Gilligan. This guy worked, with SEAL teams. Anyway, this is the Secretary of Navy. And we do not have a picture. That's my chief. Chief Chi was his name, C-H-I. Anyway, but later that day, we briefed the Secretary of Defense as well. So, and this was off ship. So, had the opportunity to meet Secretary of Navy and Secretary of Defense, and had a chance to brief them both. And then also Dick Cheney, and this was before he was obviously vice president for Bush, because I was in during the Clinton term. But he was touring as well with CNO, Chief of Naval Operations, and had a chance to brief Dick Cheney, which was also an interesting thing. So you don't get to see much of my military photographs, but I've got a few to show you. But it was a very important day, and I remember it because it was such a honor to be put in a room with people of that magnitude. I thought it was cool. The reason why I brought it up is because Mr. Pete Hegseth, who has worked out with on behalf forces in Germany, has been overseas and is doing what everyone said he couldn't do, which was he was going to drink and be an alcoholic and he was going to abuse women and party. But to me, it seems like he is doing the time-honored tradition of keeping his soldiers and airmen and Coast Guardsmen and Marines and soldiers motivated and sailors motivated to do the best that they can possibly do. Watch this. I thought it was awesome. He's on the 1MC. 1MC is a communications device that talks to the whole ship. And every single unit, whether it's berthing, surprisingly enough, or the steam room, or the power plant, or the bilge, wherever it's at, you've got the 1MC, and you'll hear a and 1MC. You'll hear the XO or the CO or whatever give you general quarters orders or an update that the ice cream social will be at 6 o'clock and all that type of shit. Here is Secretary Pete Hegseth on the 1MC.
On behalf of the Commander-in-Chief, on behalf of President Donald Trump, I want to thank you for everything you do for our nation, for our republic, for the security of so many Americans who are grateful for what you do in far-off places, in the middle of the night, with a high threat level and a lot of uncertainty, sometimes with a mission that's clear, sometimes with a mission that's not so clear. And no matter what, you execute. And I am humbled to have the opportunity to help lead you, to give advice to the Commander-in-Chief, and to make sure that when you are put in harm's way, you are given absolutely everything you need to overwhelm and destroy the enemy, hopefully to deter them so we don't have to fight these wars. But when we do, that we have overwhelming capabilities. It's not a fair fight. You're trained properly with the equipment that you need. You're as lethal as possible so that we can end the fight and bring you home to those you love.
Interesting. Quick segue into this. John Haggart says, I just got back from Bay Pines VA Hospital in St. Pete for my pre-op. I am beat. I'm going up to the pool. My body hurts. Everything. I told the federal police this morning that a Walgreens pharmacist told me on Sunday when I told her that my eye meds were left at home and that my neurosurgeon and optometrist told me that Visine would work for a while. I told her I had suffered the injury in the military. I told her my vision had blurred. She said it wasn't her problem. Maybe I shouldn't be involved in killing people. I was in shock. I somehow made it to a CVS in Pinellas Park who did help me. I will never step foot in Walgreens as long as I shall live. I want the phone number of the establishment. We'll call them live. Let's have a conversation with the pharmacist live on the show. So, John, please forward that to Olivia, and we'll be maybe making a Friday night special when she's working, and or I'll call the manager and let him know that he's on live and ask why one of her or his associates are disparaging veterans. What do you guys think of Pete Hegseth? I would love to get your thoughts, and it was very reminiscent of. I never loved being on a ship, but I certainly missed times of being on a vessel, and there was just something special about it. And when I reflect on it, I miss it sometimes, not all the time. I really do appreciate the touch of a woman, and my bunkmate above and below just don't quite cut it. Amy, Pete Hegseth, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I like him a lot. I was very excited when he was confirmed. I think he's. I mean, I don't know him personally, but I know there's a lot of controversy surrounding him and his past, indiscretions. But he, I think I said it before, he claims that he's found Jesus. He seems like a very straight-laced guy now, and we all do make mistakes. I think he's like a perfect person to lead because someone who has had a tough life, who has lived, made poor choices, they can oftentimes be a better asset when they get their life together. So I think he's doing great. I love that. I think he's well respected too in the military from what I can tell.
Right.
And so I believe that this was a wonderful thing for him to go on and just, pass along a positive message and keep that morale up and show our appreciation that most of Americans still believe in our military and support them. And that we want the best for these men and women who are keeping us safe and who are ready to go to war for us. So I think it's a positive thing. I like him a lot, and I'm happy to have him around.
Good. I agree with you. Liv, your thoughts?
I've always liked him.
You say.
I've always liked him since he was on Fox News. And the fact that he did serve and he has respect for the military, he has respect for veterans. And I think that is what is needed in his role, as he needs to respect the soldiers. And I think he has their respect as well, because he is one. Having somebody be in his position that never served, how can they have respect for him? Because that person has no idea what they're going through. Pete Hegseth has done the job. He's been there. He knows how those soldiers feel in whatever position they're at. And that's what is needed in his position, I think. And I think it's a good thing.
God, you're hot.
Thanks.
I love the glasses. I'm going to say, just the whole lighting and the lens, and it captures
and the
you.
cat.
By the way,
you.
I am buying your. You stole my parabolic light.
Uh-huh.
It's perfect. Like, it is one of the best lights available, and I'm buying it because these just don't compare. Because you look spectacular.
Thank you.
I love your Lisa Loeb.
Thanks.
Say.
Yeah, Virginia is blooming right now, and holy
So
cow,
bad.
my allergies are.
Is that code for what I think it is?
No, not tonight.
Virginia is not blooming. Folks, we will be right back after this. Good comments on Pete Hegseth. This one's interesting. Tulsi Gabbard, her first decision, gets a bunch of disgusting sex chatters out of, well, you'll see.
The Dumb Store is veteran-owned with a 5-star diamond rating for service and satisfaction. We offer quality products like coffee, shirts, hoodies, and hats, all made by veterans. Shop with confidence, backed by hundreds of 5-star reviews. Use code DUMB10 to save 10%. Visit thedumbshow.com today. Thank you for your support.
So Tulsi Gabbard unleashed some of her first steps here, joined Pete Hegseth, Jesse Waters on Fox. And
on behalf of the Commander...
I will tell
Thank
you,
you, Jesse. It's good to see you.
Tulsi Gabbard's rig is exceptional. The lighting she uses is identical to the one that Olivia has. And I just love her setup. I just thought I'd tell you, she always looks exceptional. So is Carrie Lake, and I'm not a big fan of Carrie Lake. But Tulsi had something to say, and we'll talk a little bit about this. This goes into the intelligence conversation, and why I mentioned Pete Hegseth is because there is a decorum when it comes to intel, is that you hold yourself to a higher standard when it comes to operational security and holding yourself to a higher level than most others. Intel needs to ensure that they are not putting themselves in vulnerable positions for foreign enemies to blackmail or extort. And this is the type of shit that will get you in somebody's sights from a foreign agency. Listen to this.
Thank you, Jesse. It's good to see you again.
Good to see you too. Not so good to see some of these transgender sex chats among the intel officials. What are we going to do about that?
Well, Jesse, what we're going to do has already been done. There are over 100 people from across the intelligence community that contributed to and participated in this, what is really just an egregious violation of trust, what to speak of like basic rules and standards around professionalism. I put out a directive today that they all will be terminated and their security clearances will be revoked. But the thing here, Jesse, is we got to take a step back because this is just barely scratching the surface. When you see what these people were saying, and thanks to Chris Rufo for putting it all out online, they were brazen in using an NSA platform intended for professional use to conduct this kind of really horrific behavior. And they were brazen in doing this because when was the last time anyone was really held accountable? Certainly not over the last 4 years, certainly not over the last 10, maybe 20 years. When we look at some of the biggest violations of the American people's trust in the intelligence community. So today's action in holding these individuals accountable is just the beginning of what we're seeing across the Trump administration, which is carrying out the mandate the American people gave him. Clean house, root out that rot and corruption and weaponization and politicization, so we can start to rebuild that trust in these institutions that are charged with an important mission of serving the American people, ensuring our safety, security, and freedom.
Well, there's going to be a lot of house cleaning because now we're hearing CIA agents don't like getting doged, so they're going to...
I would say Jesse and Tulsi would have good-looking kids.
Chief, on behalf of President Donald Trump,
all right.
I want to thank you
everybody.
for everything you do, sometimes with a mission that...
So one of the things that Rick Shoemaker just asked was, and we'll talk about this real quick once I show you what happened. He says, hate to bring up bad news, but thoughts on Dan Crenshaw, also Eddie Gallagher responds video. I'll talk about both. I've done it before on the show, but I'll do it again. The actual comments in question were some pretty horrendous stuff. And I don't even need to show it, but talks about electric shock therapy on the penis, having a penis removed and what it feels like, and, you know, making jokes about emasculating men and some really atrocious shit that was used on company time through company assets and company phones. And once again, it's like reality is coming to the government. At any corporate world, you get questions from your boss asking you, what did you do last week? In any corporate world, you have your BlackBerry or your iPhone or your Android checked repeatedly and is a work phone and specifically says for official use only. These things aren't new. Sexual harassment in the workplace, talking about porn and having castration done and your penis removed and how it feels like a female vagina where you just want to touch yourself all day. These are comments that were made. Inappropriate groups, and over 100 people were removed who were a part of this just grab-ass, disgusting smut shit. And listen, I like locker room talk. I've talked about it. It's not a big deal. Women are some of the most vulgar people I've ever met when it comes to sex, and guys aren't around. But there's a time and a place, and at your own personal abode is one thing, but doing this on company time. What are your thoughts on this? Liv, you first, and then Amy would like to get your thoughts.
They absolutely should be fired. I mean, whatever you do in your own personal time, on your own personal devices, in your home with people you choose to spend time with, that is your business. But when you are at your job and you're getting paid to do your job, and you're using a device that is given to you and paid for by your job, then you must follow the rules. And making sex comments like that and anything that they did, that is disgusting and against the rules, and they deserve all of them to be fired because that's just completely wrong. Yes.
Well,
Yenny agrees.
There's a whistleblower, and his name is Christopher F. Rufo. He did the release on some of this stuff, and he has all of it. You can go find it at his Twitter page, and he's got quite the following. About 810,000 people. It's real Chris Rufo is how you spell it. But the whistleblower said there's like this Marxist underground kind of club where people are trying to use transgenderism to encourage the transition of children. And that's just this effort to eat into heterosexuals as often and as large as they can with their influence. It is a very disturbing thing. And it's about 10 years ago, they started doing the employee resource groups, African-American veterans, Pride, etc. And then everything became Pride. You would go to training and it would be about privilege and better ally. And you had analysis on this. Then you would have dead naming. And now it's involved into, you know, what was very simplistic, a step-by-step process, kind of like what they want to do with guns, which is, okay, well, let's ban a 22. Oh, okay, well, once you do that, now you can go ahead and ban a 45. Then, okay, let's ban a 38. Now all semi-automatic weapons. Well, the same thing has happened with the LGBTQ movement. And dare I say, take out LGB, but the T and Q and the plus and the PISRTQS is that there is this very sick movement to influence and peddle this type of shit towards kids. And they've all denied it. Oh no, this isn't happening. But we all know it is because we're the parents. We see the libraries. We've been to the student council meetings. We've been to the school board meetings. Amy, your thoughts on this sickness that's running through our government?
Yeah. Well, I think it started a long time ago when these people were children and they have been indoctrinated and brought up through the whole public school system essentially and public colleges, and they've been indoctrinated their whole life. I'm sure there's an employee handbook given out that outlines that these kinds of conversations are prohibited on work time using work, issued computers, electronics, whatever it is. And I absolutely agree. You can live your life however you want, but one, stop influencing other people with your lifestyle choices. What? Oh. um. So I'll defend Trump.
I will
because
too.
I have the T-shirt. Well, it's a cat and it just says "grab 'em." So, because I thought it was funny.
I need to make that shirt.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, I have. I'll show you my. I don't know. I've worn it. Or maybe I haven't, but it doesn't matter. It's Trump was not talking directly to women. He wasn't using taxpayer dollars to
He wasn't
push
even in
agenda.
politics.
Yeah, exactly. He wasn't pushing an agenda. He was having a locker room conversation that was recorded and
Without his permission.
right. I think you're allowed to do that though. It's one-sided depending on the state, right?
No,
Here it is.
Well, no, it's not that. My point is that whether it was legal or illegal, he wasn't aware that the mic was hot.
Right.
That's my point. So it's an invasion of privacy, and he has a right to privacy in his own bus with Billy Bush.
Yeah.
So he has a right to privacy. It's his domicile. So if anyone should have been sued for billions, it should have been NBC because he had a case. I mean, he has a case. It's a residence. A bus is a residence, and it infringes on so many privacy laws. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
15 agent, and he wasn't. It's not the NSA, right? I mean, this is the NSA. Right. This is fucking one of this. These are the spooks of the spook. I've worked with the NSA. They are very, very, very good at digital and analog capture. And how did you not know that they had a file on this longer than your Johnson? It's ridiculous.
Well, because they don't have Johnsons.
Good point. They have innies. Go ahead, Amy.
I grew up so close to the NSA, like the actual building. I have a lot of friends who work there now, even. And you're right. They're highly intelligent people, book-wise, but clearly these people are not making good decisions. And I don't want people like that in our government who are responsible for intelligence or for sensitive information. We need to have discretion, and if you don't have basic common sense, please go get a different career path. Please, we need people who can think clearly, who can go, this is not a work appropriate thing, let's save it for the cocktails after work today, we'll have this conversation. I don't care what you're talking about when you're in your private life, but again, stop with the indoctrination, stop pushing your agenda, and certainly don't use my taxpayer dollars to do it.
Sounds good to me.
Thank you, Judy.
Finally, just because I can. Thanks, Judy.
Thank you, Judy.
We did. Tonight might be the night that we don't hit it. I'm a little nervous tonight. I usually don't get nervous. I'm a little nervous tonight. Mel, what's going on, my Canadian sister? I don't even have to plug in the name because it's you. What's up, Canada?
Just a question. When you were in the military, as I still kind of sort of maybe are, when you sign on, you have to sign paperwork that
Correct.
You can't use government resources for any of this kind of nefarious whatever, whether it's a BlackBerry, a computer, a laptop, or whatever. It's only for government business. Everything that goes on those computers is stored, is recorded, is archived. So, and once you sign that, it says right in there that you can be charged and released. So I'm assuming that's the same protocol that you guys have down south in your armed forces, that we all sign these pieces of paper that when you sign on the dotted line and you get into different positions, and it depends on, well, it doesn't even depend on classification. You can't do that kind of shit on government computers, phones, or whatever. It's not allowed. It's just, that's verboten. It's illegal, whatever. And you can be charged and go to jail and get fined and whatever.
Right.
Is it the same?
Well, first of all, our government devices were completely monitored and were unjailbroken. In fact, there were certain parameters that we would walk in, and it would be like Faraday. There's no connection to the outside. There's no connection. You can't bring your phones into a SCIF. You can't bring it into a JIC. You have to be very careful. And any of your work phones, it was never taken with you. We used pagers, and they still do in a lot of Intel apparatuses, is that their phones are specifically designed for text communication, and they don't even use them for phones. Personal devices and government devices are two different things. Now, I have a little bit of experience, but not a lot, with working with an agency in modern day, as most recent of like 2006. And any devices that I had were 100% government operated, government ran, and were only to be used for connection through VPN or key fob, and then I could sign in, but then I would have to go through biometrics and everything else. So it's like, you are not encouraged to use your government device for any personal use outside of government network and a .gov address. And if you do, you're opening yourself up for a fucking shitstorm.
But the excuse that I heard earlier in the day about this whatever was, well, it was because of DEI and whatever, and it's allowed and whatever. I'm like, that's not even, that doesn't even pass the smell test. Like that's just so wrong on so many levels. So I'm glad Tulsi did that. I'm glad to shut these people down. And a lot of these government workers have to understand that, yeah, what you're doing on your computers and laptops is monitored. Like that's where I see that people are have become so lackadaisical that they don't think that anything is going to happen, like whatever, and they can do whatever they want. And that's why there's been so many lawsuits with discrimination, whatever, and you're calling somebody whatever on your government laptop or your phone or whatever, and they go, wow, you're just being sued because you're a racist and you just been whatever. Like, I'll go for it, because if you're that stupid to put that shit out on a government network, you deserve to get your ass fucking kicked to the curb.
What people don't understand, I'm going to let them in on a little secret. For people who surf child porn, for people who surf the dark web, for people who do hitman for hire, it's not that the government is passively watching or listening. They are passively or actively watching and listening. They are passively listening and collecting. So when something does happen, all they got to do is pull your name up and they've got everything they need. That is what you need to understand. It's not about what you're doing. It's about what you do and how they can use what you did against you. So when people look at it, it's a proactive asset collection, not a reactive one. So a lot of people are like, oh, well, I'm surfing this and I'm surfing this, or I hired a hitman, or I'm buying some methamphetamines and I'm getting away with it. You're not getting away with it. They just have bigger fish to fry. But trust me, if you become a bigger fish and you get into the pond and you want to start getting into the game, they will fucking burn you to the ground. So
exactly, they'll come and get you.
Yeah, people just don't understand.
They don't understand, like
especially with the NSA.
Yeah,
like NSA listens to our show, but they don't listen to it actively. There's nobody who listens to it. They collect it. And when certain things are said, it gets recorded, gets thrown into a database, and gets assigned. And this is happening by the teraflops a second. And it's happening all over the world. And every conversation, you can't possibly understand, and I can't even begin to explain it to you, but there are 26 programs that you know about that are designed to spy on Americans. And that gives you about 1/4 of what you know. When I was in, they could have a satellite that could task and look at a basketball and read Wilson on it from space. That was considered high tech. Now they have artificial intelligence modeling and rendering. They can map people based upon taking top-down looks and top-down views. They have horizon-based acquisition and photographs. They have laser guidance for audio. Now they can look at the tip of a ballpoint pen and tell you what bank it's on is on the side of that pen. The quality that we have is ridiculous, and people just don't understand. You're not going to get away from the government. That's why that hold on a second. The Luigi Malioni or Maggiolini or whatever the guy killed the CEO. I told you he was going to be apprehended in 72 hours. I think I was off by like 16 hours. Go ahead.
And they don't understand that with all of this stuff that's out there, and I'll say they have code word flags that they check. And everybody thinks, well, if you like whatever, they change those algorithms all the time. So the words that they're looking for are not necessarily what you might think, oh, well, this is like whatever. They figure out, and they're so smart that
Mel?
Group names or blah, whatever. So,
well,
I'm not
that's the point. It's called drags and flags. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a dragnet that will ultimately collect information and categorize it, but it needs processing. Yeah. And something might not be processed for 5 minutes after you say it, or 5 days after you say it. It just depends on the priority and what the mission parameters are of what they're working on at the time. But once again, you say bomb, you say Allah, you say president. I know that's a kind of a cliche, but it's absolutely true. That will be segmented and reviewed if necessary. But it's not just what you say, it's frequency too. Where if I say Allah and bomb and president 76 times within a 24-hour period, I'm going to get flagged and have a human scrub that for sure. So I'll just give it to you. One of these days I'll do a show on the NSA, and I've got to be careful because I worked at Fort Meade for a period of time. But
I have to be careful with.
I have to be very careful. But Fort Meade, back in the 60s and 70s, had 3 football fields full of data recorders. That was 60 years ago. Yep. The Cray 2 supercomputer was essentially like the Whopper from War Games. It took a small house to store this thing in, and the cooling centers for this was incredible. Now, with what they can do with a nano drive or something literally the size of a matchbook, can take 1 million football fields and 1 billion Cray 2 supercomputers and do the processing work in a matchbook. So if you think... when we were working in megabytes in 2000, they were working in less than kilobyte data in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. Now, then in the 2010s to the 20s, they started working in gigs. They've passed they're in teraflops now. Every single nanosecond. Yes. I'm talking in a nanosecond, right? I'm talking like a millisecond. They're doing teraflops of data. But if you want to talk, like, I don't even know, like, it's quanta giga something or other. I don't even know the name, but the amount of data that they're doing is you could literally take every single spoken word on the planet at any given time, every text, every audio recording, every movie, every sound ever captured since the beginning and end of time in our existence. And they capture that amount of information in something like 6.2 seconds. You just don't understand the capabilities of the United States government, and I that's as far as I'll go into it. But every sound, every piece of data ever created can be captured in 6.2 seconds of what the current systems and computers do. If you go to Virginia, where we live, in Maryland, there are nothing but data centers. And these are literally 20 or 30 Home Depots built together, full. Yeah. And I'm not talking just on the first level, going down 40, 50 stories. Yes.
Where are these at?
Yeah.
All drive to Ashburn. There's hundreds of them. They're everywhere.
One by Walmart, the new Walmart. There's one across from there by the ice rink. They're getting ready to build one near us. Like,
Oh, if they
Yeah,
hear,
but you don't know
they're
what-
shutting that down.
You won't see what's underground because they're underground. Anyways.
So my
All
point
I'm
is,
saying,
it's too big to
people
fail.
that are working, yeah, these people that are thinking that they can get away with this stuff, even in that agency, NSA, and they think that their ass is gold and nobody can touch them. That people have to understand your ass is grass. You have to play by the rules. Sorry.
Yeah.
You're done. You're cooked. Don't care about DEI and your excuse going, oh, it's DEI. Bullshit. That was porn. 100% fucking porn. But anyways.
Well, it just comes down to this. Don't fuck with the NSA. Don't fuck with the NRO. Be very careful. Yep. You know, I don't have anything to hide.
Yep.
I don't have anything to hide.
Yep.
And the good news is I can't anyway. The whole bullshit, oh, I got a Faraday bag and I've got an air-gapped computer. You have no idea. The days of copper cages and mesh networks, that shit has been so completely removed from the equation that even the people who work for the NSA, who work for NRO, they don't know how to stop the government. This is the technology that they had. They are wired into everything. Because here's the one thing that the U.S. government did not have. They have a spy network times 960 million devices active in the United States. 3 devices per person. How in the fuck is that possible? But because you have an iPad, you've got an Apple TV, you've got a computer, you've got a laptop, you've got a camera, you've got security cameras. So on average, that's just the phones. So they're in every home. They're everywhere. And they don't need your permission to access that data and collect because it's being done passively. So that's what it is.
And the prime example is with this iPhone, the Apple iPhone. When you say racist, and all of a sudden Trump appears on your phone, going,
"Well,
oh,
that was a scam, Mel." So I can tell you how they did that.
I know it was.
But let me tell you how it was done. You
but-
can actually
but
go.
Alexa-
Hold on. You can go into your settings, and you can go into your interpretive settings, and you can use hot quotes. So, for instance, when I type OMW, it says "on my way" because I used to tell my wife every day "on my way." Well, somebody did that and put in racist, and then it defaulted and went to Trump. It's somebody fucking tried. I know, but it's important. Listen, I want to go after Apple for what they're doing in the UK, which they're allowing the government to crack their phones. That's the shit I'm pissed about because that used to be our thing, the right to privacy. But Mel, I got to let you go. I love you, hun. You're the best.
Yep. Sure.
Yeah. Thanks, Mel.
Cheers. Bye.
As always. Just got a quick one for you. We'll jump off this. Thank you, Mama Judy Vincent, because it's getting late. It certainly is. We've got some fun videos.
There was a question.
I saw it. I'm going to answer it.
Okay,
I'm going to answer it right now. We got a lot, but I've got more to show you. The Affordable Care Act, someone asked a question, is Obama getting royalties from the ACA? No, it's a federal-run company. It's not private. So they don't have any stock investments or dividends or anything like that or royalties that he could be getting because it's federally owned in taxes. But if that means that you're not getting paid by Pfizer or Moderna or UHC or Blue Cross Blue Shield to do a $250,000 lecture circuit speech, that's possible, and that most assuredly happens. So is Obama getting it directly? No, it's bullshit. It's not true. Is he inadvertently or on the sly or through multiple parties getting benefit for what he did while he was in office? Most assuredly, and they all do. That's how the Clintons are worth $323 million now, but were bankrupt when they left, supposedly. Okay? We'll be right back.
Unfiltered and fearless. Big tech didn't like that. Facebook pulled our funding, tried to shut us down. But for over a year, you, our incredible viewers, have kept us going. Your support, your donations, your time, it all matters. Most of you spend 10 plus hours a week with us. Compare that to Netflix, maybe 5 hours a month. We believe we're worth that time, and we hope you do too. But listen, we don't want giving to feel like a burden. We want it to feel good. So take a second to ensure you're in a good spot. If you're in a place to give, amazing. If not, Just liking and sharing helps us more than you know. Visit thedumbshow.com/donate. Whether it's PayPal, Venmo, or mail, every bit helps keep us going. Dumb Nation, we appreciate you more than words can say.
I want you to imagine. Hold on a second. Howie turning 31 years old. He sent me a text earlier today and said, "Hey, Matt, I'm 31 years old. Happy freaking birthday, Howie."
I don't know if he's on right now.
It doesn't matter. I told him happy birthday either way, but he does donate, takes care of us, and he is a lifelong dummy. So, Howie, we love you. We appreciate you, buddy.
Yes.
Happy birthday.
So, yes,
Happy
happy
birthday.
birthday. You guys are sitting in your backyard, you're having coffee, and Amy sees a UFO fly by, which is actually a bug. And
That's real.
no, it's not. Israel is in the Middle East. So she steps out there and she goes to look at the deer and talk to the deer and say, "Did you see the UFO who was also in the picture?" And this happens. What do you do? What do you do? You've got a deer with a hair trigger. What do you do? Shoot the deer, sir. I caught a cool tube this morning, sir. This happens.
How'd you see it?
I don't know why it's so fucking mean. The buck. Stop, motherfucker. What's your deal?
There's the deer. Oh my God.
Would you just look out your window?
My
I was making my fucking coffee. Stop.
This is a pet.
Just
Put it by
run
the
into the
collar.
house.
It's a pet.
It does, Victoria. It just takes a few seconds. So it can take anywhere from just like 30 seconds to 20, 30 minutes. So as soon as we get those, we check the email and we put them up. So hang in there, Victoria. Thank you. By the way, you look great with short hair.
Holy crap.
All right. I'm going to let you go. You're going to go your way. I'm going to go mine. All right? 3, 2, 1.
Oh my God.
Oh, dear.
Oh dear is right.
Yeah. Oh dear.
So, like, Richard Schumacher. Just because. Thanks. Thank you, Richard. Is Richard first one from Richard?
I think so.
That is the first one. I looked at all of our to make our list. That is probably going to be wrong. I saw everyone who's donated. And do you want to hear something incredible?
Yes.
We have over 1,300 donations.
Wow.
Wow.
It's pretty cool.
A lot.
What would you do, Amy? You see that deer? I mean, I'd shoot it and then I'd skin it and eat it and have great food. Victoria said, "I got a trim just for you." That's okay. When Olivia's done, I'm going to get some too. Amy, go ahead.
One, I don't know if I'm buying this video. I'm like wondering if this is like a deer that he knows or feeds or whatever. I don't know. Like,
yeah, he was over for a beer and they got in an argument over a poker game. No, it's a buck that's pissed and doesn't have his antlers. He's probably in, I don't know. Do they rut?
Yeah.
Bucks, they rut. So he's probably in a hostile state, and he sees his long flowing hair and white legs and goes, This is a guy that I'm going to challenge. Deer get grumpy. Do you know they eat squirrels too? I mean, they fucking eat meat.
They eat meat, and they do. They eat meat.
Yeah.
I think they actually prefer the meat. Because we actually, I hope no one's listening to this from like the wildlife people or my neighborhood, but you're not supposed to feed deer.
Oh.
I throw all my food outside. I mean, I take it down to the creek, put it by the creek because that's where the animals hang out.
Down by the river.
Yeah, exactly. So we take it down there and throw it because I don't know, there's raccoons and deer and they eat all that crap and we waste a lot of food. I don't know what I would do. I honestly would just probably scream and then pray to God that somebody has a gun and sees what I'm being attacked by a deer, one of my neighbors, and shoots the deer for me. Like, I would just scream.
Shine a flashlight in their eyes. They won't know what to do.
Yeah, I would have snapped its neck. Just put it out its misery. No, I'm not gonna stand there and fight with a deer either. I'm going to retreat.
Yes, into the house. He was like asking for it.
Yeah, I mean, he's over there just doing judo kicks and shit out of breath. He's gonna have a heart attack first of all. It's a little deer, dude. The thing weighs like 70 pounds. It's obviously young, and it's like a toddler. You're beating the shit out of it. I don't know. I can't stand it. I don't like to kill things. And people are like, why don't you ever go hunting? And I will if it's necessary, and I won't have a problem doing it. But I don't want to kill anything. And like I've done that part. I don't want to do it again. And I enjoy life too much. Now, does that mean I won't split a deer with somebody? Oh no, that's completely yes. And I love meat, and I think killing animals, I don't really care. I just don't want to do it, right? Liv, your thoughts on this? If Bambi decides to go off and starts trying to mount you, what are you going to
do? Let me think about that. Bestiality is illegal, so let me go on the other side of it.
Like, did you just join the NSA or something? What the hell's wrong with you?
Yes.
Oh man. Well, for starters, I mean, the deer are all over Virginia. I don't know how many times I have come home and I've walked around to go in the front door and there's a deer standing right there. And it just looks at us and it doesn't move. We had the baby deer that ran right in front of Hayden and I, scared the shit out of us because it was like right next to our garage. And when you walk into our door, you have to walk around the side and it just ran right between us. And yeah, that was pretty funny. But so Hayden yells after it, stop eating our fucking hostas.
They love hostas.
Our daughter. Gotta love our daughter.
My kid.
Oh man. But I wouldn't, if I saw one getting snippy, I would get back into the house. I'm not going to try to freaking fight that thing. They've got hooves. My God.
My cat just, dude, she's like just running in front of my TV for no reason.
Leave the dog alone.
It comes down to this. It was kind of funny. You know, it's like America's Funniest Home Videos. Yeah. I understand. Bobby Richardson, no reason, just pure love. Thank you, Bobby. We love you too.
Thank you, Bobby. We love you
Very
so much.
nice. Nice to see the number increase, and my palpitations have slowed down. I'm aware that they have their antlers in rut, but if he's a baby deer, doesn't that take a little bit of time to get their antlers? Don't they just have humps and bumps? I don't think they get full. So he looks very young. I mean, he looks like a doe, for God's sakes.
Looks pretty young. Yeah.
This is a juvenile deer buck who is going through, and this could be fall. We don't know. Yes, he's wearing shorts, but I was wearing shorts today. So my son wears shorts. He's a complete, oh my God, Cat, I'm going to kill you. Yenny, you're going to die.
She just keeps jumping down over and over.
Over and over. Anyway.
Leave the dog
Listen,
alone.
I didn't want to spend a lot of time on this because I really wanted to spend a lot of time on this. Alec Baldwin, everyone knows we don't like Alec Baldwin.
Sweaty balls.
He's a dick, but I love him as an actor. I loved him in Hunt for Red October. I thought he was great on SNL. Every time we see SNL, I love him. He's not a bad actor. Glenn Ross.
Always be closing.
Always B, C, closing. Always be closing. See this watch? So I want to show you. There's this guy. He's a Trump impersonator. He's not that good. At the end of it, he does the softer Trump. But Alec Baldwin is leaving in the morning, obviously early. It's probably 30. And he is going with his kids and his wife, not to shoot anybody, but he's going on a trip. And this is too much. I showed this guy earlier where he went after some politicians, and I'm fine with that. But you know what? When you make me defend Alec Baldwin, it's got to be bad. You guys tell me what you think. I thought this was completely out of the cool zone. Here it is.
Alec, it's your favorite president. Look, Alec, I will offer you a total pardon because I want to be friends, right? I want to be friends. I will give you a total pardon for murdering that woman if you kiss the ring. Kiss the ring, Alec. Kiss the big, beautiful ring. Come on, Alec. Come on. Look at Alec Baldwin, right? He did that impersonation of me. It was not too hot, not too good. But look, we're back in office. You lost. Kamala lost. She's somewhere getting intoxicated. Look at that suitcase. Unbelievable. Well, Alec, if you don't want that pardon for murdering that woman in cold blood, you can call it first degree, you can call it whatever you want, but it was not good. She's looking down on me right now, smiling, happy. Thank you for confronting the man who took me out, who killed me. And that's okay.
Now, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
No, you realize, but by the
Whoa.
way, no, look at me. I want you to
Yeah,
look me in
sure,
the eye.
sure.
You got a camera on me here?
The ring? No, it's the ring.
But you realize my kids live in this building, right? But I want you to know something.
We love the children. We're doing great deals for the children.
Just be real careful.
Okay.
If this camera was here, I'd snap your fucking neck in half and break your fucking neck right over. So you know that, don't you?
Okay. All right, Alec Baldwin. Alec Baldwin, ladies and gentlemen, class act. Believe me. Believe me.
I want you to get out of here.
Okay.
I want you to get out of here.
Oh, he's yelling at me. I'm a citizen of this. I was born and raised in New York City. I love you, Alec. Alec, look, Alec, you don't want to attack your favorite president, Alec. Look, I love you. I love you, Alec. He's got more balls than De Niro, that I can tell you. De Niro ran away. Alec confronted. That's good. He's strong, but also he's weak because he murdered a woman. So that's okay, right? Look at this guy.
That's just completely wrong. I don't care. To be honest, I kind of feel like the TikToker who got shot at the mall at Tyson's Corner.
Right.
I feel like that should happen to that dude right there because that's exactly what he's doing. And it's completely wrong. He's getting in his personal space. And to bring something up like that, that's just, I mean, anything. But, I mean, go away. I mean,
listen,
why?
he could have handled like Trump, like he does a great Trump impersonation. Alec Baldwin does. He could have just turned around and done it better than him and put this guy in his place. And then like, all right, buddy, all right, you got it. It's not too bad. You got the look down. You look a lot like him, by the way. Whatever. And he could have been magnanimous. But you know what? At Crack 30, my kids, it's not going to go well for you. You know what I'm saying? There's a line. And Alec Baldwin, do I think he meant to kill that girl? Come on, people. Not everything has to. If this was a Republican, you would be like, oh, it was just an accident.
It was an accident.
And it was, well, I know. That's why it was an accident. But my point is, I understand all the things that happened. I looked into it. I don't care. It comes down to this. This guy's a multi-fucking millionaire. I seriously doubt he wanted to kill that girl. He obviously is pissed off, and he has a right to be. Now, he's lost his nerve or lost his temper with paparazzi and ex-wives. We know what he's done. But I think he showed a lot of restraint. Just by telling the guy, listen, if these cameras were here, I'd break your fucking neck. I probably would say the exact same thing. Amy, what are your thoughts on that?
Yes. I don't remember the exact...
Thank you, Kat.
I don't remember exactly what his the outcome of the trial was, or I don't know if it was dismissed. I can't remember the exact details, but...
I think it was manslaughter and dismissed.
Yeah, I think so too. I remember him making a statement and how remorseful he was. And just to antagonize somebody this way after a court of law has said, like, you're okay, you can walk the streets again. We don't find you to be a threat to society. I think that guy should be more cautious because Alec Baldwin is famous. So he does have to be careful of what he does and says in public. But if he finds the wrong person, he probably will get into a lot of trouble. I would not have that much restraint, especially if my children were in close proximity. I would not. I would be in jail. Like probably truly, I would have punched him in his face, square off. Like I have no tolerance for that. If my children are around and you're causing a scene and you are making an issue in front of my family, I will end it for you. Not like kill you, but I will end that situation. That sounded like a threat, but I wasn't. I will end the situation. I will punch you for sure. I will fight you like that guy fought the deer.
Right. Like I like Alec Baldwin. He doesn't like Trump. Who cares? There are a lot other Democrats who are a hell of a lot worse than Alec Baldwin, right? He's not out there preaching the trans shit. He's not out there, he just doesn't like Trump. And it's okay. You don't have to like Trump. And he speaks out against him and he says a lot of shit that people disagree with, but that's his right. He doesn't need some fucking punk doing that to him. And that guy just wants to get hit. He just wants to get hit so he can sue him.
Yep.
And I'll be completely honest with you. If I was there and I saw that happen, hey, Paul, thanks, buddy. Come on, dummies, where are you at? It sounds like the servers are running a little slow, Paul. Yes, thank you, Paul. Sounds like the servers are running a little slow. So hang in there, folks. It looks like it's coming in. I just don't care to make somebody feel probably worse than he already feels. I seriously, I heard his testimonial too. I heard the funerals, the speech. He seemed sincere. I think people need to leave him the fuck alone. I think people have lost their ability to be sensitive and understand that there's just times where there's certain things you don't say. He's not Jeffrey Epstein, right? He's not fucking Bill Gates. He's not Fauci. He's not Biden. This is an actor who disagrees with Donald Trump vehemently and was honestly fairly benign and small when it came to other Republicans. This guy just fucking hates Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should have followed the rules on the set. Yeah, all that stuff. Yep, they should have, but they didn't.
I don't think he meant to kill that poor lady like that. It's horrible. Like, I can't even imagine being on either side of that. Like, that is just it's a horrible tragedy. So
it sucks. It sucks. Accidents take place, you know. I'm not going to sit here and defend Alec Baldwin, but in this case, I think it's uncalled for. And there's definitely one guy who's wrong in this, and it certainly wasn't Alec Baldwin. In this specific situation, Alec Baldwin did nothing but try to get to the airport. It's hard enough leaving your family. And Olivia will tell you, whenever I have to leave my family, I am in the worst fucking mood ever. Like the night before, I am angry. I can't sleep. I hate leaving my family. Olivia will tell you, going to work from Sunday to Monday was the worst because I couldn't stand leaving my family. Quick break. Be right back.
The Dumb Store is veteran-owned with a 5-star diamond rating for service and satisfaction. We offer quality products like
and
coffee,
10 is all of them,
shirts,
right?
hoodies,
It would be
and hats, all made by veterans. Shop with confidence, backed by hundreds of 5-star reviews. Use code DUMB10 to save 10%. Visit thedumbshow.com today. Thank you for your support.
Looks like we just got 2, Mom.
Okay.
So Jon Stewart, I'm going to do Jon Stewart first. Jon Stewart, this is getting bad. Jon Stewart was really funny. I used to love watching him and Colbert do their thing, and I thought they did a really good job. This just isn't funny. Listen to this. You guys tell me your reaction.
10 is all of them, right? It would be embarrassing if it was a small drop in the bucket and that the American people didn't expect that we should negotiate for all their f***ing drugs. Because we've already paid for it with our subsidies. Come on! I'll be going to the hospitals. What we do with pharmaceutical companies is like the greatest restriction of freedom in this country isn't DEI and pronoun pressure. It's f***ing poverty and struggle. And the government's role, I'm not done, you bastards. It's fine. The government's role should be to end the corruption that enables. And 10 is all of them.
I've heard of a method actor before.
I don't even know what he's upset about.
Yeah.
It comes down. It's just like, it reminds me of the people that play with guns and then shoot themselves. Let's go, dummies, to meet goal, Mello says. Mel, thank you. We are $8 away. Sounds like we're getting some of these things to come in. Listen, I don't have much to say about this one other than if it requires you smashing stuff on your set. I go back to our first comment that we made about the guy who was getting way too riled up over things he doesn't need to. I get on rants sometimes, and you guys might think I have the blood pressure up, but I've never truly been mad. I've been hurt on this show. Like, people have said something and I get hurt, but I've never been mad. Like, people look at me and go, "Oh, Matt gets mad all the time." No, I don't. Olivia, do I get mad on this show?
Very, very rarely.
I don't think I've ever been mad on this show. Sorry. I think I've been grumpy or express a point that seems like really, I'm talking, you've never seen me pissed. Because when I get pissed, I get fucking loud. And I get mean. And I'm not mad. I get super passionate and I may get irritated, but I'm not mad. Jon Stewart just smashed a coffee mug, cut his hand open, and nobody's listening to what he says. And they're focused on his bleeding hand. And this is the whole point. Your job is to communicate to the audience and convey a message and try to interpret things where they can understand it. And you're doing the theatrics, and maybe this is like the new show that we're trying to do, which is stop not as many theatrics and getting all up in arms, but just having a conversation about what we see and not necessarily putting all the stage theatrics. I think Jon Stewart relies on theatrics more and more every day as he becomes less and less relevant. Amy, your thoughts on this before we kick off to last topic?
Looking for something to smash. I have nothing around.
Yeah, right.
I thought it was odd. To me, it looked completely planned, but it's curious to me why he would use the world's best dad mug to smash. Like it's a curious one to smash. Obviously, your children have given that to you. So to smash that, there was nothing in it. So we know this was already like a pre-planned, I guess, thing he wanted to do without the expectation of cutting himself. I have no idea what he said either. I wasn't paying attention. I don't watch him. I used to like him. I still watch Bill Maher, even though I feel like I'm struggling more of him this season to like get through.
Well, it's because Trump's in office.
Just a lot. And that doesn't bother me. I don't care if he's talking about Trump. It's just some of the other things that he says that are just completely false, and it just rubs me the wrong way. I still like him though. But yeah, I don't like Jon Stewart. I don't think I ever really liked him. I did used to like Stephen Colbert way back when, like 20 years ago, literally. I liked him. But
oh God, he was like 12.
Yeah, I bought his first book. I remember, I think I was like 19 or 20 because I was like, thought he was like so funny and did not quite understand the full magnitude.
So was Steve Carell.
Yeah.
I mean, remember Steve Carell and Jon Stewart, how good they were together? Yeah. I mean, they really were amazing. Yep. All right, fair enough. Liv, I don't think we need to beat the bush. This next one you know about. We watched the Netflix series when it came to, holy shit.
Wow. Thank you so much,
Victoria.
Victoria, thank you. Unbelievable. Thank you. Just got on sending love, Victoria. Thank you. You short-haired goddess, you. Means the world. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'm going to put some stuff to bed. I have a rule. I don't talk about SEALs. I know too many of them to talk about them, and I'm not one of them. So I'm not going to talk about them. When you talk about public eye, and there's quiet professionalism, and although I'm not an operator, I worked with operators closely, and I have no desire to speak ill of any SEAL, and I'm not going to. What I'm going to do is present the facts and tell you that Chief Gallagher, I've done this show, had some things to say. I'm going to say three things. One is Chief Gallagher had a reaction video to Dan Crenshaw where he accused him of not helping the Brotherhood. And when Chief Gallagher was in prison and sitting in prison, that Dan Crenshaw did nothing for him. This isn't true. I have incontrovertible evidence of this, and you can find it very simply too, but I'll present it to you again, and I have it on my drive because I always keep things handy. Am I calling Chief Gallagher a liar? No. I'm saying that Chief Gallagher either A, doesn't have the information I have, or Dan Crenshaw has done things that warrant this consideration by Chief Gallagher. Do I respect Chief Gallagher? Yes. He is a decorated SEAL, 20 plus, deployments up the ass, and he had done some things that people accused him of that were against the Geneva Convention and were considered to be wrong. Honestly, I don't give a fuck. At the end of the Netflix episode on a podcast a year or two after his acquittal and pardon, he openly admitted to killing the terrorist, who was a younger terrorist, 17, 16, something to that effect, who was, and performing pain points on them instead of offering triage, and essentially stuck a knife in his throat and killed him. Good. It's a terrorist. I don't give a fuck. And that's what SEALs are supposed to do, is evil conquers evil in this world. So am I going to question Chief Gallagher? No. But am I going to defend Dan Crenshaw? No, I'm just going to tell you what happened. Here is Chief Gallagher real quick. This should just take a couple minutes. and then we'll move on. Here is to represent Chief Gallagher. And this is pretty much the video in its entirety. Listen.
He's a politician. I can kind of understand why he didn't want to support if it would hurt him in some capacity. So I just let it go. Not too long after that, I obviously wrote the book. And when the book came out, I went to Congress to do a book signing for the 50 congressmen who did support me, who did sign that petition to get me out of prison. While there, I was pulled aside by multiple congressmen and was told that Dan Crenshaw was actively working against me behind the scenes. He was going up to each of those congressmen who were supporting me, telling them not to support me, that I was guilty, and that it was his community, and they needed to butt out and let him handle it.
Okay. So I wasn't there. I don't know what was said, and honestly, I don't really care. I have no qualms with Chief Gallagher, and I have no qualms with Dan Crenshaw, except I think Crenshaw is a rhino. Joanne Townsend, $20 in memory of my husband. He would have loved this show. Oh, Joanne, thank you.
Joanne.
That's
very sweet.
Very
Thank you
sweet.
very much.
Very sweet. Thank you, Joanne. I'm not going to defend, but I am going to do this. And I guess some people think, well, this is defending. No, it's presenting the facts. This is to the honorary Richard Spencer, who is SECDEF, on March 18th, 2019. Dear Secretary Spencer, we are writing to express something that's come to light with Special Warfare Operator Chief Petty Officer Edward Gallagher. It goes and lists the atrocities being held without food and water, punished in solitary confinement, not getting legal representation, and telling the SECNAV, these are the articles, Article 4206, 1640 TAC 9C, and saying he's a decorated warfighter and deserves everything. And this is from Dan Crenshaw right here. So it's also Thornberry signed it, Jim Jordan signed it, and here are others who signed it. But this letter was penned by Dan Crenshaw and was sent before Chief Gallagher made these allegations. What happened afterwards in private, I don't know, but all intents and purposes, Fox News did an article on this, and Chief Gallagher received the legal counsel the food that he wasn't receiving, the solitary confinement, the outside hours, all the things that a prisoner should receive, he got shortly after Dan Crenshaw's letter. Now, if anybody wants to challenge that, for any team guys who are watching, or Force Recon guys, or any Marines who worked, or corpsmen worked with the teams who want to say, no, Matt, that's not what happened, there's something, sure, let me know and I'll correct myself. If Dan Crenshaw or Chief Gallagher want to come on, they can too. But at this time, those are the facts. Until I hear something different, speculation and hearsay means nothing to me. I don't play he said, she said. I did that. I stopped doing that shit in school. SEALs should know better. It's the Brotherhood for a reason. Leave fucking civilians and other military who are not operators out of it. Quiet professionalism is important. My recommendation is that it should be handled between the teams at a reunion and not over the airwaves, but it is what it is, and I'm not a SEAL, so it's not my fucking business. That's it. And I don't like Crenshaw either. And I defended Crenshaw, and I thought he was going to be fantastic. I voted for him, for God's sakes. Olivia and I both voted for him. Mm-hmm. So thank you so much, Joseph, for the donation. I'm just giving you the facts, okay? Giving you the facts. I'm not defending anybody. That's pretty much it for me. Amy, you got anything on the Dan Crenshaw? Nope. Liv?
No. But this next donation, you have to have an explanation of an elbow brace.
Oh, shit. I forgot. Okay, let's do it. $10.80. Kevster. Thanks, buddy. All right, so let me explain something. When you're lifting weights, form is everything. Now, people are like, I can't lose weight. That's all about caloric deficit. Plain and simple. You could do no activity, and you got a guy who does 12,000 steps, and you guys get a guy that does 120 steps. And if you're in a caloric deficit, your body is going to naturally burn those calories in excess, and you're going to lose the same amount of weight that you would with or without exercise. That's just the way this works. If you do 1,200 steps and you only have 1,850 to 2,200 calories, and you're a guy my size, you're going to die. So if you want to lose weight, caloric deficit. The second rule of thumb is if you're not gaining muscle or you're in pain, you're doing it wrong. Stop. Stop immediately. You shouldn't have shoulder pain when you're benching. You shouldn't have elbow pain when you're doing curls or doing tries or doing pull-ups. You shouldn't have knee pain when you're doing squats or you're doing sit-down leg extensions. If you are in pain when you're lifting, when you're doing shrugs, you shouldn't have pain in your neck. The reason why you do is because you're doing it wrong. Your form sucks. So my recommendation to people is elbow braces are shit. They are a fake tendon that you're just asking for injury, but a compression sleeve, you wear it anytime you do pull or push exercises. You're doing legs, leave them off. You don't need them. You're doing squats, leave them off. But if you're doing deadlifts, you're doing buys, you're doing tries, you're doing forearms, you're doing wrists, you're doing chest, you're doing shoulders, you're doing back, you should have those elbow sleeves on at all times. You should also have some sort of wrist support. Not braces, but this. Just something to put a little pressure. Because when you put pressure on your joints, they want to expand. Well, that's not good because when they go out like this, water dissipates and that cushion has cartilage on cartilage. So just a little support from allowing them to spread out. Second, your fingers are the most important thing in your lift. Don't fucking listen to anybody. Oh, you got to keep your neck down, or you got to keep up, or you get big chest, big chest. All that's true, but that's not going to kill you. Your fingers are. Because when you do a pull-up, everybody, especially older people, when you do a pull-up or a chin-up, you're going like this. Well, your fingers, I want to show you a little trick. I want you to grab your finger and wrap 3 fingers around it. And I want you to squeeze and leave your thumb and forefinger off. And where does this engage? I'll tell you. It's going to engage in your forearm and your bicep. You'll feel this. Now, do your fist. And you're engaging here in your elbow. This one finger, and you can see it move on me, is actuating this tendon. So when you do pull-ups, if you can find a way to do it, is you should have these fingers and thumb and have this finger. A lot of people use a toilet paper roll on the bar and wrap tape around it so it's this far above that finger, so you're only pulling on these 3 and the thumb. Do not engage this finger in pull-ups. And what I do is I just go ahead and pull like this and leave these pointing to the sky. That'll stop the stress on your elbows. When you're doing bench press, it depends what you're doing. You're doing lower chest, you want to be below the nipple. You're doing middle, you want to be with the nipple. You're going to go ahead and do upper chest, you want to do it up here. But the thing is when they say don't flare out, people think that don't do this. That's not what they're saying. When they talk about flaring, you want to twist your hands in. Watch my elbows. Shit, I got to get big. Sorry, I got to do this for Kevin. I promised him I'd do it. So when you're doing bench, you want to twist the bar. Now, you're not going to be able to twist the bar, but your hand movement should pull, and what that does is pull your elbows in, and then you lock and bring it in. And when you do that, you'll activate your chest, but you've got to put it back on your shoulders, create an air gap in your lower back, and push up on your feet because that stops actuating your back. It stops actuating your biceps and gives you full chest compression. Your breathing's important too, because what happens when you come in, big chest, when you go out, well, a lot of people, when they go down, go, no, that's not what you want to do. At that point is when you want to and push up. And then when you push, all these little things will tell you, especially when you're holding. So it's your position on your elbows. It's when you're doing buys, you want to keep your elbows in. When you're doing tries, you want to keep them back. So all of these little positions are really important. I love you.
God wants to say goodnight to you too.
Get out of here. So that's what I'm trying to tell you guys, is that there's certain things you can do, but you've got to research. Before you do an exercise, learn the form. Let me tell you something. I lifted for 7 years. 7 years, and I lost a ton of weight. But Amy will tell you, I had no muscle on me. I was fit, but I wasn't ripped. I wasn't putting on muscle. I am now putting on muscle. I mean, Olivia will tell you I am getting big. And the reason why is because I'm working to failure. I'm doing the right forms. I'm doing less weight, and I'm getting the exercise right. So the last thing I'm going to say, and I'm done. If you want to stop your elbow pain, this is what you do. It's the easiest thing for elbow pain. Get yourself a 20-pound band, rubber band, and I want you to put your elbows on your side like this. And what I want you to do is pinch them and leave about 12 inches in between. And I want you to flare out like this and bring it back. Flare out and bring it back. Flare out, do 20 of those, 20-pound band. And eventually that will build this tendon in your elbow. But those compression sleeves will help. That's it. Okay? Sorry. Anything
Can I
else?
add something to that? Yeah, I'll add
Yes,
something.
please.
You mentioned at the end the resistance bands. My trainer, because I have terrible form with everything, like everything. And I have injured my back severely deadlifting. I actually blame my trainer for that because I told him I couldn't do it. And he was like, you got this. I was like, pop my back big time. But the resistance bands, they're actually really good to help keep your body in form. If you ask a trainer or a professional like how to position them around your body, there's different sizes to help keep you in those tight, like the proper form, because I have terrible form with everything. And that's what I would use too.
Banner. Get rid of her. She's right. The bands use stabilizer muscles. So when I do my bench, I'll do free bench and I'll do Smith machine. Smith machine is controlled down rails. That's good for overall weight, but you don't engage your stabilizers. So what I'll do is I'll put 2 rubber bands around the barbell and down around the feet of my cage, and I will push, and it adds weight, but it creates stabilizer muscles. Also, like I've got cable machines, so I'll do a seated row or I'll do a seated chest press and come back and pick up both of my cables and push. You've got to do enough push and enough pull, and a lot of people don't understand how to do pull on chest. They don't know how to do it. Well, there's several different pull exercises, whether it's swinging your arm like this in, or if you're going to go ahead and bring your dumbbells up across your chest like this. These are push and pull exercises, and you've got to do a very strong balance of push, pull, and stabilizer muscle work. You got to become an expert on your body. But if you're feeling shoulder pain, it's your fault. If you're feeling back pain during your deadlifts, it's your fault. It's your form. So lower the fucking weight and do the bar. Pull out 2 10-pound dumbbells until you master your form. You're just wasting your time. You're wasting your time because you're not activating your muscle groups. Does that make sense? You got to feel it. Like how many times have you like you're doing upright rows and you're like you feel it in your bicep, but you don't feel it in your back. You're not activating. You got to be able to feel it when you're doing lat pull downs. It's all in your bicep or it's in your shoulder, and you're like, fuck, I can't feel my back. It's because your form sucks. So go lower the weight. Get your form right until you feel it. Do 25 reps and you're like, okay, fuck, that's starting to hurt my back. Good. Now you can go ahead and go to failure, but your first 2 sets need to be warm up and your last 3 need to be full joy. So if you're doing your goal is to get to 60-pound curls, you should warm up with 30, 35s and go right to 60s and do them to failure. Don't do this gradual progression. Go right to your max after you warm up your muscle and just fucking kill yourself until you can't lift anymore. Going to failure builds muscle. All right, that's it. I'm done. Anybody else?
Beefy Buttercup says, I'll say as a professional, Matt gives good, solid advice.
I've studied it, and I went from fat and lazy. Well, I went from athletic to fat, broken, and lazy to athletic again to someone who sat down for 2 years, and I'm rebuilding it back up again. So, Amy, last minute, thanks for staying late tonight.
Thank you guys for all the donations, and we just love you guys so much, and good to see everybody. I will not be here Friday, but we're in playoffs and we have a practice on Friday. I say we, like I'm on the team. I'm not on the team, but I am a diehard fan.
You don't have to do it. Where is it going to be at? Is it going to be in Percival?
It is. It's at Blue Ridge Middle School on Saturday morning as our next
You want to
game.
go rugby?
Sure.
No, this is
Saturday
not rugby.
morning.
It's basketball.
Oh,
Rugby's
fuck basketball. We don't care.
It's
Yeah.
basketball playoffs were rugby season's just they're at practice now. They're just starting that. So
Roger that. Diet. Don't stay away from protein. Don't be afraid of carbs. Don't be afraid of fats.
Oh, she's getting huge. Holy cow, she's ruined so much.
What? Ash.
Oh,
Ash, over here. Video. Hi, Ash.
she's so cute. Oh my gosh.
She is so, dude, she is like one of my best friends. Can I show you? No, I'll do it. We'll do it tomorrow. There's just this little trick that we play. So I always go to the top of the stairs when she goes out for potty in the morning, and I'm like, come here now. Come here. And she's and goes and picks and eats wood and just sits there and looks at me like, come get me, bitch. The last 2 mornings, I go and get her poop and I take it to the garbage can. She usually comes with me and she runs to the top and she goes up there and she's like, "Row, row." And I swear to God, it sounds like come here. And she's like, "Row, row, row, row." And she starts barking at me and I'm like, no, I'm going to choose some wood. And I pick up the wood and pretend she's like, "Arr, arr, 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 arr." And so she yells at me like I yell at her. That's how smart she is. When you see
She's
her,
a husky.
she is one of the smartest fucking dogs I've ever seen. Unbelievably smart and picks up on shit. She's incredible. She's a great dog. Liv, 1 minute. She is. 1 minute. Go, baby.
Thank you very much, everyone, for the donations. It was very generous. We really, really appreciate it. And I should be here tomorrow since I wasn't on Monday or Tuesday. I know.
Don't get too tired. I know you're going through it right now, so don't get too tired, okay?
But anyway, okay. So
that was reverse psychology. I don't mean that.
Yeah, I don't know what else.
All right, watch the closing video. We've redone it. We've added a little bit to it. If your name isn't on there, it's not because we only had so much space.
Out.
Just be like, Matt, I give you help it, but I think I got everybody. Most people who really donate or mods or sponsors, we tried to capture everybody. Just watch it. If it's not there, it's because I'm tired. It's been a long.
Send me an email, olivia@thedumbshow.com, and I'll make sure it gets
We
up.
love everybody. And it does say Dumb Nation on there. It does say thank you to everybody. So here it is. Enjoy the new closing. It's a lot like the old one, but it's a little bit different. Here it is.
Night, y'all.
Good night.
Night, y'all.
This
Night, Ames.
is the Don't
Night, Ames.
Friendly Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia Geopolitics.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.